2025 was a great year for fights, and after looking back at all the cards, I've picked my favourite fight from each one, starting with Marco Tulio versus Ihoy Poitiera. Tulio coming to this strong, good leg kick off the bat, lands a nice 1-2, another 1-2, just misses a big left hook. Very scrappy first minute, both of them landing, but Tulio's landing the more powerful shots. After a nut shot, couple minutes timeout, they get back to it. It's a bit of a scuffle, and Tilio lands a big right hook and folds Ehor. Lands some nasty ground and pound for about 20 seconds. Ref steps in and stops the fight. Very fun fight. Oh, fucking hell. I thought that said ranked number one knockout of the year then, but no, 71 knockout of the year. First round finish. Yeah, very fun fight. Sorry, peeps, bear with me. Alright, up next, the fight I picked for UFC 311 was Merab versus Umar, the main event. Now, this was a really fun fight. Umar started off quite strong in the first couple rounds, looked good with his striking. He was good timing. He landed a big shot in the first, a right, that looked like it hurt Merab. This is the round that Umar apparently broke his hand in, so that could have played a big factor, if true. I thought Umar done enough to get that round personally. Second round, Umar still looking good. Merab looking a little bit, not bad, but he's wearing it a little bit. Close round, I thought I could see it going either way, but I had it for Merab personally. Third round's where Merab really starts to show what he's made of. Big momentum shift, gets a few takedowns, good wrestling, good control, mixing the wrestling up with the striking quite well. Easily Merab round, easiest round to score of the fight, I thought. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the round where he starts showboating and stuff as well. Fourth round, similar thing, pressing forward, lots of pressure. You can see Umar starting to look tired, maybe the broken hand playing a factor. Merab took that round very convincingly. I thought Merab was up 3-1 now. So I thought he just needed to edge out the decision to win. Round 5, another great round. Really good. Umar was still in it. He weren't down and out, but Merab definitely done enough to win the round. Rocked Umar late in the round as well. Bit more showboating. Really showed what he was made of. Was a start for a really good year for Merab, even with what's happened at the end of the year with Peter Young. But you fight 4 times in a year, cutting all that weight. 3 out of 4 is not bad, and I'd love to see that trilogy fight with Peter Young as well. Maybe we'll see Merab and Peter under this later. Right, next up, peeps. Bear with me. I did try to have it all loaded up, and it just kept deleting itself. So I'm going to have to do it this way. So bear with me. Great start. Nearly there. So let me have a quick check. I'm still rolling. It's my first time doing it on the old laptop. I've had about 20 odd attempts so far, trying to do it all in one take, so bear with me. Alright. Right, for the third fight, another fight night card, we've got Terence McKinney. Adesanya versus Imanov was the main event on this one. We've got Terence McKinney versus Damir Hadzovic. Now, T-Rex coming into this one as a big favourite, minus 625. Comes out pressuring straight away like he always does. Demir's looking for a takedown. T-Rex jumps to giddy, comes close, but Damir ends up slipping out. Ends up on top. Damir ends up on top, but T-Rex ends up reversing it. Lands some nasty 12-6 elbows from on top, followed by some more nice ground and pounds. I counted about 20 plus unanswered shots, and the ref steps in and stops the fight. T-Rex is one of my favourite fighters, win or lose. He always comes out to give the fans a show. So exciting. I think his fight time's something crazy, but yeah, and obviously his story is proper sick as well, where he's come from and stuff. Everything he's been through with, I don't know if you've seen the police video and stuff like that. I think he's got quite public about it. I'm not bringing up anything bad in it, but yeah, absolutely crazy story. Very impressive stuff. A lot of love for T-Rex, and yeah, very excited to see him next. Has he got a fight scheduled? Have a look quick. Bear with me, guys. As I say, normally I'm on the old CapCut on my phone, but I've just got the old laptop sorted out, and thanks to my mate Andre, shout out Andre, getting me all set up with everything, because I'm an idiot when it comes to stuff like this. A big shout out to Andre. Wouldn't be here without fucking my man getting this all set up. No, nothing planned yet. His last fight was against Chris Duncan though. Chris Duncan, another fighter I think's very exciting. Might see him later on in this as well. Right, next up. Now there's whispers that Shamrock's meant to be fighting OG Lee in, on the London card. Nothing confirmed yet, but that'd be a really fun fight. And I thought Shamrock looked great in his debut against a really tough opponent and undefeated Dagestan. I think he's from Dagestan, some sort of crazy Russian brother. Yeah, he looked really good, and it'd be good to see him show what he can get a nice finish or something. Paddy versus the Luigi star when he done his fight in London. Make a big name for himself. But right, sorry to get off topic, people. Next up, fourth fight. This one was on UFC 312. Duplessis versus Strickland 2, which was another fight I thought was really good. That was a really fun fight. I thought Strickland won that fight, but yeah, I was debating putting that on there, but yeah, this finish from Sakid, butchered his name. 19 seconds. I couldn't not give it to him for fight of the night. Here you go, performance of the night, 31st best knockout of the year. Yeah, it was amazing. Literally, the first punch he threw knocked him out. Like, yeah, not the best look for old Ghibli, but you never know. He could end up coming back, but no, brilliant for Sadakid. What's he got next? I'm not sure if he's got a fight booked next. Whatever he's got booked next, I'll be very much looking forward to seeing him in the octagon again. But talking about someone that I'm looking forward to seeing in the octagon, the sick fight. Sorry, people. Just clicked on the wrong thing. He's had so many heel hooks, I'm getting them muddled up. Wait, have I clicked on the wrong? No. Right. I think, let me Right, still rolling. Let me have a little. Sorry, people. Right, I think that's a bit better. Bit better. Right, up next, sixth fight of the night. Sorry, fifth fight of the night. Another fight night. Um, this was the 22nd best submission of the year. I'm surprised it's that low down. I thought the run Volta Walker went on with all these heel hooks, starting off with Junior Taffer in 2024 before this. Let me get my notes up. Oh my god, yeah, unbelievable. Obviously, Johnny Walker's brother. I think this. No, I'm pretty sure Taffer was ranked, but top 15 opponent. Gets a double leg, 10 seconds in, locks his hands, takes him down, goes for the heel hook about a minute in after a bit of scrambling, and it's not long before Dontel ends up tapping. Second heel hook in a row, and yeah, history in the making with yeah, I know he definitely gets one more heel hook after this. I'm not 100% sure if it's for. Let's go back a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4 heel hooks in a row. I knew it. What a run for Volta Walker. You literally couldn't write it. I think by the time he fought Louis Sutherland, he had his little heel hook chain as well. Oh my god, what a year for Volta. Yeah, absolutely unreal stuff. You couldn't write it. Absolutely couldn't write it. Right, before I load up this next fight, I think the old computer's getting low. Let me just whack it on charge. Sorry if it starts to sound like you're gonna take off. It's been doing that while I've been charging it, but it's an awesome bit of kit, so I can't complain. Right, next up. Right, next up, people, we've got another first round finish. This card was absolutely unreal. I've got to give a special shout out to the whole card of Cejudo versus Song. I think it was nearing a full finish, bar one or two, bar finishes. Sorry, bar one or two. Very, very good card. One of them sneaky fight night cards that just ends up blowing the socks off you. But yeah, so for the sixth fight, I went with Modestas Bukauskas versus Rafael Sequeira, I think is how you say it. Light heavyweight fight. I think Modestas come into this one as a -270 favourite. Starts off with a good 1-2, closing the distance well, but he's exposing his cheek a bit. So Sequeira actually ends up landing a nice shot. Lands a big left. Modestas returns with a big left hook that wobbles Sequeira. Lands about 10 big shots on him against the cage before dropping him, fully putting him to sleep. Very after a couple minutes, very scrappy first couple minutes, a bit back and forth, but the pressure from Bukauskas was way too much for Sequeira. 10th KO and 7th first round finish for Modestas. So you can't complain about that. I always like watching Modestas. I know he got released and then he ended up coming back, and always like an underdog story. Great fight, great win. Yeah, as I said, special shout out to the whole Song Cejudo card. It was a very, very good card. Very, very good card. Right, up next. Talking about a comeback or an underdog story, what Sam Patterson's done since his debut against Noah Schmooze. Wow, different grave. You look at that, 4 in a row. But let's get to the fight that we're specifically going to talk about. Now, this fight, Sam Patterson versus Danny Barlow. It's Gary Barlow then. Oh my God, what a fight. Danny Barlow was undefeated coming into this, 9-0. He started off looking great. He looked great right until he got knocked out, to be honest. Yeah, he didn't do anything wrong. Like, just Sam Patterson, fucking hell. Like, yeah, raise your hand up, mate, because yeah, well, I don't think anyone's seen this coming. I'm not too sure how big of an underdog he was, but yeah, wow, but yeah, yeah, Barlow's looking very good, pressuring, landing the better shots till the last minute of the round. Patterson ends up catching him with a hook. He follows up, but he doesn't rush. He's patient and he waits for the perfect shot and lands a sort of nasty right uppercut sort of style kind of punch. Knocks him against the fence, and yeah, ref comes in and stops it. What a finish! Yeah, wow, Sam Patterson, like I say, since he moved up to welterweight, I'm pretty sure that Schmooze fight in London was a lightweight. That weight cut couldn't have been any good for him. He's a big lad, quite tall. Obviously, look at what he's done since he's got to welterweight. It'd be very exciting to see what Sam Patterson's got next. Very exciting. Wow, this one's a good one next. Still looks good. Let's go. Right, eighth fight, UFC on UFC 313, Pereira versus Ankalev. We won't talk about that one. We'll talk about the second fight though. But right, King Green versus Mauricio Rufy. When I was watching this live, my jaw ended up dropping on the floor. Wow, it was ranked knockout of the year as well, and I'm not surprised. The only one that I'd argue could be over it was the slam. And I'm forgetting who done it, but I'm gonna have a little look and see who done it. But the fella who done the rampage slam, and oh yeah, I want to say Malcolm Wellmaker, someone like that, but don't quote me on it. But yeah, wow, what a finish for Rufy. Started off Green looked quite loose, playful as he always does, hands down. Rufy stayed composed. He's being patient, being very accurate. He ends up timing a perfectly counter shot as Green enters, ends up dropping Green hard in the first round, and yeah, that spinning heel kick. Oh my God, it almost looks like it just glances Green, but yeah, wow, absolutely shuts the lights off him, and yeah, wow, what a fight. Absolutely unreal fight. If you've not seen that knockout, go check that out, people. But yeah, poor Bobby Green. You had the Jalen Turner fight where he had about 50 unanswered shots. I think before that, the Paddy Pimblett fight, which got finished, not as bad as these two finishes, but yeah, wow, poor Bobby Green. Wonder what he'll get up to next. But I'm pretty sure Rufy's coming off that loss to Benoit St. Denis, which didn't look very good either. So, do you know what I mean? The tables can always turn in MMA. That's why it's such a great sport. Wow, I fell in love with it. But right, up next, and I think how I'm gonna do this, people, is there's 42 cards. Sorry, so yeah, 42 fights that I've got to talk about. We're on the ninth fight, but I think I'm gonna do 10 fights, stop the recording, watch over it, make sure it's all good. It's a bit thingy about if I do it in separate videos, will I be able to patch it together? Like I said, it's my first time doing it on the old computer and stuff like that. But I think worst comes to worst, if you've got all your videos, there's got to be a way. And when my mate starts answers me calls and that, I can get it all sorted. So it's not the end of the world. But this is another fighter who I thought's had an amazing year. Make sure I get up the right one because he appears on this list a couple of times as well. Right, ninth fight of the night. We've got Fight Night 254, Waldo Cortez versus Ryan Spann. Now, Waldo Cortez, old salsa boy, since I've seen his debut in the UFC, oh my god, he's definitely one to watch. He's had the loss against, I think he's lost against Spivak, Pavlovich, someone like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he won this, lost, and then I think he went on a 3-fight win streak, but we'll check in a minute. But yeah, great fight. Cortez starts off, he's controlling the distance with his jab and straight punches. Spann's struggling to get inside. He's not landing as much as Waldo. Clearly outlanded Spann, Waldo did, and he was dictating the pace in the first round. I thought that was easily Waldo's round. Second round, similar style. Waldo comes out looking very calm, very accurate, not throwing anything for the sake of it, being very meticulous with everything. Spann looks like he's starting to slow down. Waldo ends up landing a lovely left hook, then follows it up with some great ground and pound against the cage. Ref steps in, and yeah, as I say, old Cortez. Let me just double check so I'm not talking out my ass. Oh yeah, it was Pavlovich. There's no shame in that at all. I think that's when before Pavlovich fought. No, it wouldn't have been. It would have been after Pavlovich on his losing streak, after Raspinall, Volkov, and then Waldo, I'm assuming, if that's the order that it's gone in. But yeah, wow. Ryan Spann, Sergey, yes, Despionage, that's another Waldo fight that I watched, and I think that's when everyone thought Despionage was this beast meant to be the next Ngannou, 7 foot, black belt and all that rubbish. I think I'm saying rubbish now because it just how he performed against everyone in the octagon. Obviously, not fucking saying there's anything any shape. Well, he stepped in the octagon in the UFC. Do you know what I mean? But comparatively against the fighters that he fought, everyone thought he would have done a lot better job. I think he's doing all right in all karate combat now. I think he knocked out Sam Alvey in that. But yeah, wow. Yeah, Waldo, great fight. You're gonna see Waldo maybe at least once, maybe twice more on this list. Waldo had a great year, and when I got to the end of the cards, I was struggling a little bit for picks. Well, the last two anyway. But yeah, right. 10th fight, and then before we have a little check, make sure everything's run nice and smoothly, and big shout out to not local boy, but just up the road from me, old Jordan Vucenic. Hopefully gonna see him back in the UFC in the near future. Looking good at since he's gone back to Cage Warriors. But Chris Duncan, who he fought, wow. Chris Duncan's one of my favourite fighters. He's very similar to old T-Rex. If he wins, if he loses, it's always a great fight. Yeah, good win over old Tupau. A lot of people were debating whether Jordan won that, but I thought he done enough to get the win. But right, 10th fight of the night. London, old UFC London. We had Chris Duncan versus Jordan Vucenic. Now this was a really, really entertaining fight. Very competitive with the striking early. Vucenic was looking sharp, accurate. Duncan mixing in the takedowns, started doing a bit of grappling. I thought Duncan done enough to edge the rounds with the control time pressure, and it was fairly even apart from that. Round two, he comes out, he gets another takedown. Jordan was struggling to have answers for the takedowns. Ends up passing guard quite easily. Gets a steady position, locks in a submission after wearing Vucenic down a bit, and Vucenic ends up tapping. No shame at all in the loss. Absolutely great fight. Hope to see Jordan back in the UFC soon. Chris Duncan, you're going to see him on here a couple more times as well. He's an absolute, his story as well with the Contender Series fight that he had. The heartbreaking story with his mum and that. Rest in peace. God bless her soul. Yeah, it's like fairy tale shit. You know what I mean? I've got a very strong relationship with my mum and stuff as well, so I resonate a lot with them. She's got Scottish in her as well. We've got Scottish family, so yeah, they love Chris Duncan as well. So very excited to see what Chris Duncan does next. We won't have a look at his last fights because, as I say, we're gonna see him coming up in the near future of the video. And there's me mate Andre, who can help me with the old editing. So on that note, people, that's the first 10 fights. We've got 32 more fights to talk about. If everything goes great, you're gonna be just seeing this. See it. There's gonna be a split second, and then you're gonna be seeing me talking about the rest of the fights. Nice and merged together. There you go. It's gonna bring the old microphone and headphone as well. I've got the headphones on, so I don't know if he's forgot he's bought me them or he's gonna bring me another pair. But yeah, let's see what he's saying. But right, that's the first 10 fights. My favorite fights on the first 10 cards of the year. Yeah, let's get this stopped, watch it over, and I'll be seeing you in a second. At number 11, we've got to go with the love child of Yoel Romero, Mark Henry. Fucking hell, sorry about that. Teb Gautier versus Jose Medina. Now, this was Gautier's debut in the UFC. He was meant to obviously look like a knockout artist coming off a big win on the Dana White Contender Series. Medina with a bit more UFC experience, even though being 0-2, that experience is still 2 fights in the promotion, 2 more fights than Gautier had. And he's got a bit of a reputation for being tough, but I think everyone knew how this one was going. Round 1, early, both fighters feeling each other out. But you can tell straight away that Gautier's clearly got the physical advantage, especially his reach and power. He's using his jab and outside leg kick early to keep Medina at bay, trying to establish some timing while Medina stayed composed. Fairly composed. Eteb starts landing some big shots couple minutes into the fight. They're getting heavier, they're looking a lot more impactful. Lands a nice left hook that hurts Medina. Fair play to Medina. He's not shying away from the exchanges. He absorbed a lot of shots. But yeah, his output weren't doing anything to deter Gautier from coming forward. About 3 minutes into the fight, the finishing sequence, Gautier backs Jose up, gets him against the fence, starts unloading some vicious shots, ends up landing a nasty knee to the head that, yeah, absolutely sends Jose to the shadow realm. Poor Jose. Yeah, Eteb, I'm very looking forward to seeing what he can do. Fucking, what weight class is this? Welterweight? No way. Middleweight? Yeah, middleweight. That makes more sense. Medina's quite a small middleweight, but yeah, wow. Eteb Gautier, the silent assassin. You can't get a much better debut than that. Yeah, wow, what a fight. Right, next up. one of my favourite fighters. And this won't be the only time that you see him on air tonight. Oh, look at that win streak. I can't believe he's not fighting Volk for the title next. And they're doing the Lopez rematch. Can't understand the reasoning behind that. But anyway, the 12th fight of my favourite tongue twister, my favourite fight on each card, on every card last year. We've got Lerone Murphy versus Josh Emmett. Now Murphy, he looks unbeatable in this fight. I thought Emmett might be able to get a KO. He's known for, do you know what I mean? He's got that vicious knockout power. If he connects, you most likely go and sleep, but he couldn't connect to Murphy. Murphy looked really good footwork, good movement, finding the range nice, working off the jab, keeping Emmett at bay with some leg kicks. You can tell Emmett's trying to land some heavy shots. He's pressuring forward, trying to get inside, but Murphy, the tail of the whole fight pretty much, he just dances around Emmett. Don't let him get touched. Obviously, you don't want to get touched by Josh Emmett, so I don't blame him. But second round, Emmett ends up getting a nice slam early on, to be fair. Showing some good wrestling. Gets Murphy against the cage briefly, but Murphy ends up getting up. Gets the center. Still looking good with the striking, landing some nice combinations, nice kicks. The striking volume and distance control was, you know what I mean? Emmett didn't really have an answer for it. He couldn't get inside. He couldn't land anything. I thought Murphy won that round as well. The third round, a bit of a closer round. Couple more back and forths. Murphy staying composed though. Yeah, most competitive round of the fight, but I still think Murphy done enough to edge that round as well. Landing more. A lot more volume, and when he was landing, Emmett he was throwing the bigger punches, but it wasn't often that he was landing with them. Round 4, Emmett's trying to come out a bit more aggressive. Murphy just stuck to the game plan, using his angles, kept moving, mixed the targets. Emmett had moments, but generally Murphy controlled the distance, the pace. Emmett didn't have much of an answer for it. I thought Emmett needed a finish at this point. He come out swinging, he's throwing heavy power shots. He looked for a takedown, but it got stuffed. Murphy lands a big shot, wobbles Emmett a bit. Definite round 5 for Murphy. I had it 50-45 for Murphy. I thought he easily won. Fucking even the third round, the most competitive rounds. You could maybe argue it was Emmett's round after watching the 2 rounds before and the 2 rounds after, just because he's looked that much better than he did in them other rounds. But yeah, I couldn't see it that way. Great fight for Murphy. Not as good as the fight that we'll talk about later on that he had at the end of the year. But wow, not a bad fight at all. I can't believe he's not fighting for the title next. Yeah, blasphemy. But we'll move on. I'm going to get this loaded up as well and just have a little double check. We're still rolling. We've got another one of my favourite fighters next. I'm joking. Conor McGregor. Yeah, Chandler kills me. Right. Unlucky number 13. We've got Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. This was on UFC 314. Funnily enough, Volkanovski versus Lopez. What we were just talking about. That would have lined up so nice. Murphy fighting Volk. I don't get the reasoning behind that. What are they doing? But anyway, off topic. We've got Paddy Pimblett getting that lovely win over Michael Chandler. People are a bit picky with the run that he's got. I don't want to see. It's not been a layup. He's fought tough competition, and people look back and say now he's been fucking given a layup. He's had an easy run, but when he was fighting Tony, um, before he fought Chandler, everyone was saying he was going to get smoked and it was too big of a step up. Even people were saying that about Bobby Green, obviously after the Jared Gordon fight, which was a bit of a sticky one, but everyone has their moments, you know what I mean? And look what he's done since then. So, but yeah, this fight against Michael Chandler, it was really good showing for Paddy. Really good showing. Round one, Chandler's trying to use the wrestling, level change in. He lands a takedown early, but doesn't do much with it. Pimbits landing some leg kicks, some jabs. He's using his range, his movement. He's forcing Chandler to pay attention to his striking. Um, yeah, a bit of a scramble. Quite a few scrambles actually. Pimblett looks for a submission, including a triangle attempt, but yeah, doesn't manage to lock any of them in. Lands a few elbows on the ground though. Both of them are staying quite busy, to be fair. Quite close rounds. I wouldn't mind saying it was a very close round, to be fair. I could see it going either way. I could see that one going either way. Second round, Pimblett's continuing to work well on the feet, landing some good punches, calf kicks. Just keeping Chandler moving. He had Chandler on the back foot for most of the fight, which is working out quite well for him. Chandler takes him down, but Pimblet quickly reverses it. He's staying on top of most of the grappling exchanges in the fight so far. He ends up getting top control. Ended the round in top control actually as well, and a few back takes, top positions. He's threatening submissions the whole fight while still landing punches, elbows, ground and pound. He was staying busy. He wasn't just looking for the submission, getting it, not getting it, laying on Chandler. He was staying busy. It was a really good performance from Paddy. Very high striking. It's very aggressive. Yeah, I thought that was Paddy's round. Close round still, don't get me wrong, but I thought Paddy definitely done enough to get that round. Paddy round for me. Round three, Paddy comes out and he lands a big knee on Chandler. Splits Chandler's cheek wide open. Bit of grappling, ends up getting the body lock takedown, gets Chandler's back, immediately starts landing elbows. This fight was, yeah, it was a really, really fun one to watch. I'll be honest, I was one of the people, I thought Chandler might be a bit of a too big of a step up for Paddy, but he proved a lot of people wrong with a really good performance against Chandler. Do you know what I mean? Poirier didn't even finish Chandler, if I'm right in saying. I'm pretty sure they went to a decision. So, and look at how well Poirier's fucking wins have held up. So, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think people don't give Paddy enough credit, to be fair. Very looking forward to this Paddy versus Justin fight, which will be the next video, the predictions for that. So yeah, look out for that one, people. But right, yeah, he's landing vicious ground and pounds, elbows, hammer fists a lot. Chandler's not able to do anything, and 3 minutes and 7 seconds into round three, the referee ends up stepping in, and TKO victory for Paddy. Oh, Paddy the Baddy. Yeah, as I say, what a performance for Paddy. I'm really looking forward to the Gaethje fight. I'm high on Paddy now. I think we can see a finish against Gaethje, but don't get me wrong. Whenever I end up counting out against Gaethje, my good brethren actually the last couple of times Gaethje's been an underdog. I think Fiziev. I think there was another one as well. I've gone with Fiziev and whoever else, and he's gone Gaethje underdog, and yeah, always good money fucking picking Gaethje as an underdog. Can't count him out. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world seeing him get the title as well, coming to the end of his career. So, but right, next up, 14. One of my two fighters that I've Always love to watch. Nicholas Darby. Fucking hell, look at me sitting back and that. You talk about underdogs, that bomb theme fight. Oh my god. Absolutely unreal. Right. Let's double check we're still rolling. Perfecto. Right. The 14th fight that we're going to be talking about is Nicholas Darby versus Randy Brown. Now, as I say, both of them, Rude Boy Randy Brown, old Danish Darby. Yeah, Darby, I think, yeah, it must have been the Bomb Theme fight where he was a massive underdog and he's come in and I think he's actually ended up getting the finish over Bomb Theme, Gabriel Bomb Theme. But yeah, Darby, he's always great to watch. Obviously, he was on the wrong end of the stick in this fight, but yeah, can't go wrong with a Darby fight. But yeah, he'd actually never been finished before this fight as well. So do you know what I mean? First time for everything. But over 30 pro fights for himself. Never, as I say, never been finished. Looks like he could have broke his nose about halfway through round one. But yeah, Randy Brown. Oh, he ends up knocking Brown down. Actually, sorry, with just over a minute ago, ends up in top in half guard. Constantly trying to pressure, even with his nose looking as bad as it is, like probably broken. Yeah, he eats a big knee from Brown. Starts eating big punches and gets sent to the Shadow Realm early in round two. Um, Sorry, my notes for this one are a bit shit. It's one of the first ones I got my notes down for. Obviously, I got notes for 42 fights. That's probably my worst set of notes as well. So sorry if that one was a bit fucking awful. At the tiniest bit to go off, and it's been a while since I watched that fight. But right, number 15 on the Santiago versus Figueiredo card, which in itself I thought was great for Santagan, but a very disappointing performance for Figgy. I don't know what was going on that night, but old fucking. Was it Alex Moreno? Yeah, it must have been Alex Moreno. While Ponzinibbio backflips onto. Oh, no, no, no. It could have been Michael Pereira, actually. Not Michael Pereira. Is that the Polish one? God knows. Don't quote me on that, people. Right, up next, number 15, who's probably my favourite MMA clip of all time. Do the spinning kick like you done when we was on mushrooms at the ranch. D-Rod versus Ponzinibbio. Backflip and land on someone's face standing up. Ponzinibbio. Right. Right, people. So round one, it's a fast start, some big moments. Both fighters come out striking, trading punches and kicks early. Ponzinibbio is pressing forwards, doing his normal boxing combinations, leg kicks, while D-Rod's countering well, looking quite crisp with his strikes. D-Rod landed quite a few power shots, including a stiff counter, like you can see snap Ponzinibbio's head back. Looking very sharp with the timing and accuracy. Ponzinibbio still staying fairly composed, still moving forward, throwing heavy punches. Tries mixing in a takedown attempt that D-Rod defends well. It was a very competitive first round. I thought D-Rod was a bit more effective, a bit more accurate. I think D-Rod done enough, but yeah, very close round, very good fight. And the second round, it all changes. It completely changes. All the momentum goes to Ponzinibbio. He comes out, he's landing strong combos, he's mixing in kicks, he's keeping D-Rod guessing. They both land a few heavy shots, but Ponzinibbio's volume and forward pressure is just taking the round for him, in my opinion. Um, Late in the round, Ponzinibbio secures a takedown against D-Rod, getting a bit of control time as well. Um, I think like if there was any doubts for that round, that done enough to secure it for Ponzinibbio, and very close fight. I could see. I wouldn't say robbery if you gave that round to D-Rod, but I thought Ponzinibbio just done enough to edge that round. Round three almost goes back again to D-Rod. Both of them come out trading. Rodriguez, D-Rod connects a crisp counter left hook that you can see hurt Ponzinibbio. After he rocks him, he ends up following up with a few more strikes. He puts Ponzinibbio down. And yeah, the ref ends up stepping in at 1 minute into the third round, and TKO for D-Rod. Great fight. I think I want to say he was an underdog in that fight as well. I'm pretty sure I made a bit of money on D-Rod on that fight, if I'm thinking it's the right fight. But yeah, great fight, back and forth. Yeah, really good fight. As I say, D-Rod, do the kick that he done on mushrooms at the ranch. Yeah, he's a proper guy, proper guy. Right, one of my, if not my favourite fight of the year last year. For the 16th fight, and as I say, it's got to be up there with probably up there with the Yamarab fight. This has got to be one of my favorite fights of the year. It was yeah, absolute stellar performance from JDM. Oh yeah, oh yeah, it was yeah, up there with Strickland Adesanya. Probably one of my best fights that I've seen live. He was a massive underdog as well. I think there was only a few people that picked JDM. Don't get me wrong, I think I got a bit too high on JDM picking him against Makachev, and you seen what happened there. But this performance against Bilal was unreal, absolutely unreal. JDM was doing a great job of being first, keeping Bilal on his heels. 2 minutes in, not much has happened, but then JDM lands a nice head kick, followed by a nice left hand. He's starting to get comfortable, finding his rhythm. Good left hand again from JDM. He's doing well as staying on the outside of Bilal. He goes for the takedown. Bilal, that is. JDM defends well, shaking it off. What I thought he was going to do to Makachev. But he comes close with a knee, lands a big uppercut into the round. Solid first round from JDM. I had it 10-9 going into the second round. Second round, couple kicks landed in the first minute. Bilal lands a good jab. Nice right hand from JDM. Bilal beginning to bite on JDM's fakes a lot more. A lot more kicks for JDM this round as well, especially teep kicks. He lands a big right hand, a lot of circling, level change from JDM. Bilal goes for the takedown. JDM defends. He's defending great. He's straight back up to his feet. Yeah, these notes are from literally when I rewatched the JDM fight. The next day or whatever. I think I've done a YouTube video on this as well. So this is, sorry if I'm repeating myself if you've seen that one. But I've got, I was telling man before this fight, the rugby background will be enough. I've got a rugby background myself, so a bit of bias there. Big up all the flankers. But outside flankers specifically. But yeah, I was telling man before the fight, the rugby background will be enough to stop the takedowns, and his boxing is some of the best in the UFC in my opinion. The Islam fight doesn't disprove that either. He just didn't get a chance to show it. But yeah, he cuts Bilal at the end of the round. Ends up ending the round with a bit of showmanship as well, getting the crowd going a bit. Had it 2018 JDM going into the third. Third round, great head movement from JDM. He's feinting takedowns. He's got Bilal biting on almost all of his feints. He's landing the way bigger shots. Um, the way bigger shots are coming from JDM. JDM's landing more. He's hitting harder than Bilal. Bilal gets a good knee, but JDM does well to block it. Bilal rushes in and eats a big left hook. Bilal's best round so far, most competitive rounds of the fight, but not enough for me for Bilal. 30-27 JDM going into the fourth. Now this is when JDM got into flow state, in my opinion, and like I say, it was like watching the, sorry to keep going back to it, but the Strickland Adesanya fight was the same thing. It was almost better than if when Strickland had Adesanya wobbled in the first, taking Adesanya to the decision and schooling him like he did than if he got the finish then. Same thing with JDM. Everyone almost thought, right, he might get a lucky finish, but he's not going to be able to go the distance with the decision merchant Bilal. But look what he done. So yeah, his head movement was so satisfying to watch. Moving like a prime money Mayweather. He lands a great combo, shortly followed by a 1-2. He's doing a great job countering Bilal. As Bilal's trying to rush in, he's eating some big shots. He's trying to pressure. He holds JDM against the cage, but he just can't get him down. JDM ends up reversing, has Bilal against the cage, lands a nice. Bilal lands a nice head kick. I've got Bilal's best round yet, but still not enough. JDM landing the biggest shots, doing a great job of counter punching. JDM defends the takedown again towards the end of the round, and yeah, I had it 40-36. Yeah, that is right. Sorry, yeah, 40-36 JDM going into the final round. And then the fifth round, Bilal gets the takedown with 3 minutes to go, but JDM manages to stand up. The crowd goes absolutely crazy. I was dancing around my living room when watching it live. I fully was. I was jumping with joy. I did win quite a bit of money on that fight. What the hell? For just fucking. He gets up. He starts landing some good elbows, followed by a left, wobbling Bilal. Starts landing big shots. They scramble against the cage. Bilal ends up on top. He gets back up to his feet again. He didn't settle on his back once in this fight. He always fought and found a way to get back up. Never fucking just laid there in accepted position. He lands some more big shots. Bilal's bleeding everywhere. He looks battered. 50-45 JDM. My fave title fight I've watched live, just behind Strickland Adesanya. I've obviously recency bias, like watching it live, looking back. I've got to put Adesanya Strickland over that one, but they're not far off from each other. Not far off at all. Right, people, that's 16. Let me just check how long this video is. I don't even know where I'm looking. 26 minutes. Right. Gilbert Burns. So I'm just a bit shook of like doing all the video in one go and something happening. So now I know that I can stitch it all together quite simply. I'm doing it in sections. About 30 minutes or so. This 30 minutes lost is a lot less painful than at this rate, maybe 2 hours lost. But right, at number 17, we've got Michael Morales versus Gilbert Burns. Morales coming into this one 18-0, undefeated. He's got 13 wins by KO and TKO, 1 submission win. Before this, he was coming off a win over Neil Magny, first round KO, and a UD over Jake Matthews. Fair play to Jake Matthews to go in the distance with my man. He's landing good shots, backing up Burns. He's landing good combos, solid shots. Burns actually ends up taking Morales down, but he gets straight back up. Burns is holding him against the cage, but he loses the clinch, eats a couple shots that sit him down. He gets back up. eats some more ground and pound, gets back up again, gets sat down again, and yeah, the ref steps in. It was a awesome performance from Morales, and yeah, not a good night at the office for Burns. I think it's the first person to get such a dominant win over Burns. I was very surprised, especially after the fight that Burns had with Kamzat, another one of my favourite fights. Um, yeah, I thought Burns might have done enough to edge that as well, but yeah, I can't think of a heavier hitter at welterweight than Morales. He's an absolute beast at welterweight. Obviously, I think he's coming off that knockout over Sean Brady. I thought Sean Brady was going to win that as well. Yeah, he's definitely got an argument. One more fight, he could be fighting for the title, maybe a title fight next. Got a lot of contenders at welterweight though. It's absolutely stacked at the minute. Absolutely stacked. Right, a bit of a lesser known one to the casual, aka myself. We've got Dustin Jacoby versus Bruno Lopez. And this was the 18th card of the year. Alright, not a very long fight, only a minute and 50 long. 54th best on the main knockout of the year. Not bad for old Jacoby. The initial exchanges, they both come out getting a feel for each other, circling, gauging the distance. Lopez is showing forward intent, trying to land some kicks, pressuring Jacob. Jacoby's staying calm low. He's staying nice and relaxed before firing some shots back. About 30 seconds into the fight, Jacoby's lands a nice left jab that stuns Lopez, puts him off balance a little bit. Ends up swarming him, flurry of punches, driving Lopez back towards the cage. Strong elbow and some follow-up hooks land as Lopez pardon me French, as Lopez is retreating. The finishing sequence, you can see Lopez was hurt. He's standing against the cage and Jacoby just comes and slants some heavy right hands, and a sharp right hand ends up dropping Lopez, who ends up hitting the canvas, and yeah, he won't get him back up to continue fighting. Ref steps in a minute and 50 seconds in, and a nice highlight reel finish for old Jacoby. Not a bad performance at all. I'll be honest, I think what was this card? Blanchfield versus Barber. Yeah, off of memory, I don't think this was the best card. But yeah, this was well, look, go have a little look yourselves, and you tell me for any of these fights that I've picked, if you think there's a better fight on the fight cards, then tell me what the fight is. I think I've done a pretty good list, but there's some cards on there where, say for example, you'll see, we'll get to it later on, Lerone Murphy versus Aaron Pico, the spinning elbow. Obviously, just before that, you had Carlos Prates done that spinning elbow on Jeff Neal. Both almost both as good as each other. I've got a bit of bias towards Murphy with him being English, but picture perfect knockouts, both of them. You can't have any argument for Murphy number one or Prates number one with that card. So no, definitely let me know, people, what one's your favourite fights of the card so far. I think number 19. 32 minutes. Right, people. I'll see you to talk about Merab O'Malley in a second. Catch you in a second, peeps. The 19th card of 2025, and one of the only ones I didn't manage to catch live because it was on my birthday and I was in Tenerife celebrating, for lack of better words. But we've got Merab versus O'Malley 2. Obviously I've watched it back when I've come back from my holiday. The first fight with O'Malley I thought was a great fight, but Merab really put a stamp on it in this one. He comes out immediately pressing like he always does, high tempo, aggressive with the wrestling entries. He's forcing Sean to stay cautious. O'Malley's trying to counter with some punches and kicks. He's landing, but Marab's pressure is it's not leaving many options open for O'Malley, constantly backing him up or having him circling. Marab's obviously doing his staple of plenty of takedown attempts. O'Malley's defending well to start with, but he's using a lot of energy doing so. Sorry. End of the round, Marab's still just relentless moving forward, striking pressure. Um, yeah, close round, not close round. Well, yeah, close round, but I thought Marab definitely done enough to win that round. Second round, the second. Fucking hell. Can't understand my own fucking nights. O'Malley starts to find some more success on the feet. He's connecting with some punches and kicks as Marab's trying to press. Landing a few combos. He's starting to look a bit sharper than he was in the first. Timing's looking a lot better. Marab, he just keeps closing the distance, mixing in the pressure with the wrestling attempts. O'Malley's stuffing like some of the takedowns, but yeah, it's to be fair, he has some of his best moments of the fight. Using his striking here, including a heavy right that he lands and defending like quite a lot of the takedowns, but Marab's still doing enough to stay in control. Continuing the pressuring and he's more volume, but yeah, he's definitely making O'Malley work for it. You could arguably give it to O'Malley that round for striking, but yeah, I'll tell you what, I will actually give it to O'Malley that round for striking. Striking wins fights. It's been a while since I've watched this one, peeps, so don't fucking slaughter me. Round three, Marab ends up getting the takedown early in the third. After setting it up quite nice with some strikes. Once on the ground, he gets ground and pound, ends up getting top control. O'Malley's trying to scramble, but Marab keeps him pinned down. He's wearing him down. He cuts off any escape, and he ends up getting ninja choke with a minute to go. O'Malley tapping out at 4 minutes 42 of round three, keeping his bantamweight title. And who did he fight after O'Malley? Without looking it up. Who did Marab fight after O'Malley? You gonna tell me, Donna? It wasn't Yan, was it? He's fought someone else in that time. I'm certain of it. Let me... No? Bear with me, peeps. Sorry, I'm like a granddad when it comes to this. Sandhagen. I completely forgot about that fight. Good decision win over Sandhagen. Sandhagen was coming off that win over Figgy, if I remember correctly. But like I say, what a year for Marab. No shame in that loss to Yan. Obviously, dominant win from Yan, but weight cuts, 4 title fights in a year. I need to see that trilogy fight between the two of them. But now we've got one of the, I think, most promising prospects in the sport. Oh, I'm going to check if it was him that got that Rampage style slam KO. Great spelling. Well, there he is. I don't think it was him that got the sun. I'm gonna have to find out who got that because that was one of my favourite knockouts of the year, up there with the Rufy spinning back kick on Bobby Green. But old fan favourite Chris Matinho versus Malcolm Wellmaker. Obviously, Chris Matinho, infamous for that fight he had with O'Malley. I think they stopped it with like 30 seconds to go after O'Malley. Like, I think he'd got he must still hold the record for most strikes landed in that fight because yeah, Matinho was bad. But yeah, this was another bit of a mismatch for poor old fucking Matinho. But fight starts, both fighters come out trying to get a feel for each other. Wellmaker immediately shows intent, setting up his power shots, using his jabs and feints to measure the distance. Matinho is trying to press forwards, mixing in some offense, but he's not finding any rhythm, and he's starting to absorb quite a few strikes early on. Wellmaker's starting to find his mark about a minute into the fight. He's landing some heavy body shots, straight punches. He's constantly making Matinho react, adjusting his guard. He used combinations to keep Matinho on the back foot, drawing defensive movements before setting up his power shot. And a couple minutes into the first round, he's Matinho's pushing forward. Wellmaker fakes a low kick and lands a lovely right hook that connects flush on the jaw of Matinho. Matinho lands face first onto the canvas and the ref stops the fight. What a win for Malcolm Wellmaker. Great knockout. If I just go back quick time, I'm not too sure. Usman versus Buckley. That wasn't a bad fight either. Let me go back. Ethan, yes, that was that. Ethan Ewing. He's like well, you could say builder. I think he's actually like a site manager or whatever the equivalent of a site manager is in America. And obviously Malcolm Wellmaker, he's works in the construction industry as well, or he did. I'm not too sure if he still does. But yeah, that Ewing, he was a crazy underdog, an absolute crazy underdog in this fight. Yeah, I wonder if it says plus for it. Nah, he was a bigger underdog than that, way bigger underdog than that. Yeah, look at that. 97% of the people thought Wellmaker was going to knock him out. Me being one of them. But what a performance from Ewing. Gotta give him a special shout out on that one. Right, next up, another very nice striking fight. 21st card, 21st card of the year, 21st fight of the video. Now I'm typing in 21 into the search bar. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, we've got Raphael Fiziev, one of my favourite fighters. Like what I was talking about earlier, I thought he was gonna smoke Gaethje in both fights. To be fair, well, the first fight I thought he was gonna smoke, and then I thought he might win the second fight, but everyone's seen how that panned out. People want to talk about Paddy's run to the title. I mean, look at Gaethje's not had, arguably, yes, tougher opponents, but there's not a drastic difference in the records leading up to this fight, especially thinking you got to take into account Paddy's on a big win streak as well. Yeah. Right, we've got Fiziev versus Bahamondes. This is another card actually I didn't manage to catch live. Couldn't tell you why, but I just remember missing this one, watching it back. Wasn't an awful card, to be fair. Orably, the old caveman, is one of my favourite fighters. Start off in this one, round one. Both fighters getting a feel for each other early. Bahamondes is using his front leg kicks and range to keep Fiziev at distance, using his reach at advantage. Fiziev's quicker with the combinations, landed some nice jabs, hooks, leg kicks. He's pressing forward enough to make Bahamondes adjust. Some nice exchanges around the midpoint. Fierce exchange where Fiziev lands a hard body shot while Bahamondes answers with a spinning side kick to the body. End of the round, both men had their moments, but Fiziev was landing the sharp. He was being sharper, landing with more shots, higher volume, nicer counters, cleaner shots. Thought he'd just done enough to edge that round. Round two, Bahamondes is trying to utilize his length with his kicks and 1-2s. He even attempts a takedown unsuccessfully, but mixing it up, trying to make Fiziev think. Fiziev does well, stays composed. He avoids a lot of the flashy kicks and counters that Bahamondes is throwing, including a head kick in an exchange that they have. Fiziev finds success with the takedown midway through the round. After securing the takedown after Bahamondes failed a takedown attempt, repeating it again later on in the round, showing a clear grappling advantage for Fiziev. As the round ended, Fiziev lands a nice right hand just before the horn, solidifying that round for him. I had it 2018 Fiziev going into the third round. The third round, to be fair to Bahamondes, he come out with some urgency. He's looking a lot sharper than he had in the past two rounds. Arguably his best round, and well, no, definitely his best round, and definitely has some of his best defensive moments of the fight in this round. He lands some nice 1-2s. He tries shooting again. He pulls guard at one point. Ends up clinching against the fence, looking for more control. Fiziev stays calm, defends it well. He counters a takedown as Bahamondes presses. Fiziev ends up landing a nasty counter combo, secures another takedown, putting that cherry on top, and finishes the fight on top control. The mixture of his striking and grappling, he was on top in every department in this fight, to be fair to Fiziev. It was a great performance. The judges had it 30-27 Fiziev. So did I. Bahamondes is a really fun fighter. I love watching him fight. But same with Fiziev, to be fair. That's why this fight was, everyone knew it was going to be fireworks. But I think it was just a bit too much of a step up for Bahamondes at the time. But Rufi versus Fiziev, that is going to be a banger of a fight. Absolute banger. If I had to pick, I'd say Fiziev off the top of my head. But Bahamondes, on the other hand, I've just clicked on the same thing. Not got a fight lined up, but he had a nice little 3-fight win streak against some nice names: Turner, Torres, Giagos before the Fiziev fight. No shame in losing to Fiziev. I think we can see Bahamondes come back. Yeah, definitely one to look out for in the future. Now, up next, I semi-called this one. I said Ilya was going to knock out Oliveira, but I said in the second round. Fuck's sake. I'm not dyslexic, I promise. Right, the 22nd card of the year, and as I said, one that I semi got right. Ilya Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. Now, I thought Charles was going to be able to just make it to the second round. I thought, who did he fight before? Holloway. Holloway managed to last to the second round. Volkanovski, well, Holloway lasted to the third round, but Volkanovski lasted to the second round. Emmett's, do you know what I mean? He's one of the glitch in the matrix, to say, one of the early ones that hadn't been finished by Topuria, but I knew Topuria was going to knock him out, but yeah, I thought, yeah, he might just be able to make it to the second, but how wrong was I? Topuria come out very aggressive, immediately putting pressure on Oliveira, just landing stiff jabs, hooks, establishing his striking range early. Oliveira responds with some strikes of his own, including some body kicks, head punches. Topuria's timings looking very good. His crisp boxing as always. He's keeping control of the center of the octagon. Topuria ends up opening a cut up just above Oliveira's eye. Oliveira tries changing levels, but Topuria manages to escape and resets. Oh, sorry. Both fighters end up standing. Topuria continues picking his shots. He lands a lovely, perfectly timed right hand that snaps Oliveira's head back, follows it up with a left hook that drops Oliveira out cold, follows up with a couple hammer fists, and 2 minutes and 27 seconds into the first round puts one of the most loved fighters in the UFC to sleep. Charles the Bronx, who I'm very happy over his performance over Gamrot, but we'll get to that. But great fight for Topuria. Obviously vacated his belt due to all the stuff going on, family issues and stuff. Hopefully he gets that all resolved. All the best to him. God bless. But great performance from Topuria. Be interesting to see if he comes back and he fights the winner of Paddy versus Justin, or does he go? I can't see him going back down to featherweight now. The Makachev fight, but is Makachev going to come back down to lightweight? I can't see Topuria going up to welterweight. So be interesting to see what they do with that once he's got all that sorted out. Oh, wow, we're only just over halfway. 23 out of 42. We still rolling. Perfecto. Right, up next we've got a very short fight. Mr. Marbuza Hot himself. There's no way I spell this one wrong. Oh my god. Where am I going wrong? Problem is, I spelled it wrong once on my notes, and just I'm not making any excuses. Right, this performance, arguably yes, against another Brazilian cab driver, but wow, the Nascimento win before this, that was a really good win as well. Really good win. Who did I have fight of the night on that one? Oh, it was in 2024, so no one. There you go. Come on. There we go. Right, 23rd card of the year, 23rd fight of the video. Got Derek Lewis versus Towson Texeira. Oh, this was an amazing fight. I'm not 100% sure. I might be getting mud. No, I think he took his shorts off in the fight before this against Nascimento, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, don't quote me on it. Wow, what a fight for Lewis. Both men come forward, trying to land shots early. Texeira lands a short punch. That I think Lewis was like just kidding on. Like, I don't think he was actually stunned. I think he was just what's the word I'm looking for? Playing bait or whatever you want to call it. He ends up fucking, despite looking like he was hurt, he shakes it off, swings back with a heavy shot, lands a big left hook that drops Texeira. He follows up with a couple more shots. Ref jumps in, a little bit of an argument for an early stoppage, but I didn't have any complaints when I was watching it. I love watching Derek Lewis knock people out. Wow, what a fighter, especially after that little sort of skid that he had just before this. If I go back, he had the loss against Almeida That's it. That was the bad skid. He had the loss against Tuivasa, Pavlovich, and Spivak, three in a row. De Lima might have actually been the one that he took his shorts off for. I forgot. Yes, three Brazilian cab drivers. Lima's the big bold one, I'm pretty sure. Yes, that might be the one. Either way, all three of them fights were great performances from Derek Lewis. You can't get much of a better performance from that. Yeah, big up Derek Lewis. What a performance. But up next, we've got this is a. I don't think a lot of people would have been expecting this one, but Michael Johnson obviously could beat Khabib on his day or lose to your dad the next day. He's just that sort of fighter. He was roughly, from memory, 14, 15 to 1 just to win odds on Bet365 against Selhuber. He was a massive underdog. And I remembered looking at it going, yeah, how can you count Johnson out that bad with the level of competition that Johnson's fought as well? Poirier, he's fought everyone. Let me go back for a sec. Johnson has fought everyone. I know he's arguably past his time, but look, two wins before that. DeCasse, that's a good win. Clay Guida, Thiago Moses, no shame in them losses, no shame in losing to Josh Emmett. Artem Lobov and Andre Touchy-Philly, good wins. Taron Elkins, Justin Gaethje, Khabib, win over Dustin Poirier, TKO. Nate Diaz, Benil, win over Edson Barboza, win over Tabao. Yeah, you can't count Johnson out. I thought it was ludicrous. Yes, he's 16 wins, 15 losses, 50-50. Win one, lose one. But you can't count Johnson out. And Cejudo definitely hadn't proved himself enough before this fight. I don't know what the bookmakers were smoking when they made that one. But yeah, it was an absolutely awesome fight. Yeah, I loved watching it. I love an underdog. So, and Michael Johnson, he's a fucking losing fucking track of my thoughts. He's a fucking OG, and Selhuber, yeah, people were fucking too high on Selhuber. Stop repeating myself now. I'm reading my fucking notes. Selhuber uses his length and kicks early, trying to establish range, disrupt Johnson's pressure. Johnson's answering well, firing some jabs, right hands to the body. He's landing consistently when he gets inside Selhuber's range. Both fighters are quite active, but Johnson's landed the cleaner punches. He's controlling the center. I thought Johnson done enough to win that round. This was when I was starting to think, yes, people are gonna be a bit shots. Round two, Selhuber comes out, London kicks. Johnson starts mixing in some high kicks himself, keeping Johnson cautious. Johnson landed a powerful left hand, dropped Selhuber. Yeah, fuck. I'm gonna go have a coffee after this one and wake myself up a bit, because this was, oh my god, when Johnson ends up fucking dropping Selhuber. Yeah, wow, I was thinking 15 to 1. I was thinking, should have put some money on that. But he ends up following up. He lands some nice ground and pounds, heavy strikes. Selhuber ends up getting back up. He lands a few kicks, a right hand, but Johnson's knocked down, clearly won in the round. I wouldn't stretch as far as saying it was a 10-8, but yeah, definitely won the round. Solid round by Johnson. I had Johnson up 2 rounds going into the third. I thought Selhuber needed to get a finish. Selhuber comes out in the third, a bit more pressure than he has been in the first 2 rounds. Lands some body kicks, good right hand, trying to look for that finish. He's trying to find something to win in this fight. Johnson's responding nice, clean punches, keeping the pace up. A takedown attempt late in the round from Johnson. So Huber ends up stuffing it. They trade some strikes till the bell goes. You could arguably give Zell Huber this round. It's one of them ones like, because of the first 2 rounds, yes, it was Zell Huber's best round, but if you look at it as a round singularly, did he do enough? Do you know what I mean? It's up for debate. But Michael Johnson ended up getting the unanimous decision, 29-28. Great fight. Yeah, I was so happy for Johnson in this. Like I say, 11 underdog. Yeah, and if anyone deserves to get a nice win like that, it's Michael Johnson. Yeah, big up Michael Johnson. Right, I'm gonna go get a coffee and try wake myself up a bit because I've been doing this all day, and this will be an hour and a half. An hour and a half's worth of videos. I've still got just under 20 fights left. Might have to start firing through these next ones and get this done for you boys, because, or girls, if there's any girls watching, I doubt there is, but yeah, I'll get this smashed out for you guys. It's obviously the longest video I've ever made. I thought the prediction video at the end of the year that I done was long. That was like 14 fights, I think, off the top of my head. This is 42 fights, so 4 times, give or take, bigger than what I normally do. And it's took like weeks, not straight up weeks, but you know what I mean, when I've got time here and there, sitting there on my phone, getting the notes for all the fights, watching the fights back on Fight Pass. Yeah, it's that's why some of the fights as well, I'm looking at my notes like, what? Or like, it's a lot of fights, and I've got the memory of a goldfish as it is. That's why I need my notes to sort of have something roughly to go off. I'll give you a little sneak peek. God knows if you're even going to be able to see that, but look, 42 worth of notes. Waldo Cortez anti-Deja that you're going to see in a little while. Some of them I've got notes from where I've watched them live. Some of them at end. Do you know what I mean? I only started the channel in October, so yeah, it's one of them ones, isn't it? But I'm learning. I'm getting there, innit? So any feedback, if you like it, like the long videos, obviously I'll have the long video up in its full on my channel, as well as I'll cut it down at some point and have it in shorts. Just the exact same video but in shorts. I think some people prefer that. Yeah, it's one of them ones, people. It's awkward talking into the camera, obviously. Doing it on my phone with the phones and that, or is it recording myself on one of the phones, notes up on the other phone, and Tapology out on the third phone. That's how I was doing these videos. But obviously, when you ain't showing your face or nothing, it's all like, I'm not like a self-conscious brother or anything like that, but do you know what I mean? You got the camera rolling. It's just you're not talking to anyone back. It's weird doing it. Do you know what I mean? It's weird, but like I say, it's yeah, something I've been passionate about starting the channel. Everyone that supported it so far, do you know what I mean? Big love to everyone. Obviously, first video on the computer. I know the webcam's not the greatest. Might look into that. I'll be so real. The headphones, they ain't even plugged in. They don't work when they're plugged in. It's almost just to make me look a bit more like I know what I'm doing. For the fireplace in the back gives it a bit of ambience. I'm still getting used to thing being mirrored, but yeah, it's I'll be honest, I'm a bit of an idiot. It's probably easy for a lot of you people, but yeah, this computer stuff, like, yeah, it's yeah, I struggle with it, man. I struggle with it. I almost wanted to go back to, do you know what I mean, using the phones, but all the proper YouTubers, the people that I watched, MMA Guru, who I got a lot of inspiration from to start the channel, and that gave me loads of entertainment and stuff. When you've watched all your UFC stuff, and you know what I mean. When I found him, yeah, yeah, big up MMA guru. Um, but yeah, it's one of them ones, peeps, isn't it? Like it's like trial and error. It's trial and error. Do you know what I mean? You just gotta do it and see how it works. Like I'm waffling on now as well. I'm waffling on now. I'm gonna go get a little coffee. Might have a little smoke. Quick time. Um, but yeah, come back, get the rest of these fights done. I sound like I'm not enthusiastic, but it's just, do you know what I mean? I've done loads of takes before, like when I was done my first, I've done 10 takes before my first take. These ones I've just been rolling with it. When I get started, I just, you know what I mean? I just roll with it, and I don't even watch them back, to be honest with you, and like before I upload them, because I don't want to question myself and upload it and then let the people be the judge. But I'm gonna go get myself a coffee. I'm gonna see you people very soon. Very. That's why you check to see if you're recording, people. I've just been talking for about 5 minutes and I weren't recording. Let me do that again. It was like this. Wait. The Don's got his coffee. I'm back, peeps. Big shout out to the little brother for the Christmas mug. I can't believe I just done that. I basically waffled on a bit about what do you guys think? Should I get on the old kick? I'm hearing it's a bit looser with the rules. Hypothetically speaking, you could bill up. Do you know what I mean? It's not just whatever you people want to see. Do you know what I mean? I've got no interest billing up in on thing if unless people want to, unless that's interest to people. Do you know what I mean? Let me know. Save me having to stop cutting the video anyway. What am I doing? Right. This fight, Shara Magomedov versus Barry, it caused me heartache. Like heartache. Had a little parlay on. Last thing I needed was Barry was plus or whatever. I ain't gambled in a while. Whatever the like plus thing is, where they just have to win a round on one of the judges' scorecards, and I thought if memory serves me correct, he done enough to win the second round. We'll have a look at the notes in a minute, anyway, obviously, but yeah, I was very disappointed, which is why you don't gamble, people. There's only one winner, and that's the house. Get yourself on GamStop, people. It's yeah, you won't look back. But yeah, round one. Literally just said all of this, but here we go again. Round one, Magomedov comes out looking nice. Low kicks, body kicks, setting the pace, keeping Barry at distance. Barry tries countering, tries pressing, clinching. He goes for a takedown attempt. Magomedov gets straight back up to his feet, lands some elbows, a hard knee while they're in the clinch. Up against the fence. Magomedov ends the round with hard knees and a question mark kick, visibly looking like he's doing the well, he is winning the striking exchanges in the first round, and close, but I thought he definitely done enough to win that first round. Now the second round, this is where it gets a bit interesting. They have a back and forth. Barry comes out a lot more aggressive, landing some solid shots early. He rocks Magomed with a clean right hand that breaks his nose. That's what I thought when Barry hit this round. Oh, it's hot. It's damage. What do you fucking hell? What do you win a fight on? What's the main scoring criteria? What's the first scoring criteria? Damage. Do you know what I mean? You could land 50 strikes to one, and if that one strike that other fella landed put you on your ass, they've won the round. It's all based on damage. That's the main thing. But I thought there might have been a little bit of bias with them being in wherever it was, Saudi, one of the Saudi. Let me get this correct. Abu Dhabi. Obviously Shara being what's it called? I don't know if he's actually a resident of Abu Dhabi, to be fair, but yeah, I think they were looking out for their own on this one, which everyone does. There's no shame in that. English, when, do you know what I mean? It happens, and it happens. So But yeah, despite the damage, Magomed keeps his composure, continues to mix kicks in, elbows and body strikes. Hurts Barry with an elbow where you could have the argument where Barry gets around for it, but cutting open his head in the final moments. But like I say, I honestly thought Barry won the round, but everyone else thought it was a very competitive round. But I think the majority of people thought Shara won that. But I beg to differ. Round three, the pace continues. Both men are trading, good striking exchanges. Barry's looking dangerous. Magomed's showing more diverse striking, good knees, good elbows. Midway through the round, Magomed defends Barry's takedown. He controls the action on the feet, mixes in a question mark kick, engaging confidently. He ends up getting near the end of the round. Magomed lands a knee to the body that drops Barry. Finishes with a strong ground and pound, which, yeah, that definitely won Shara the round. I got no argument for Shara winning the fight. I thought Shara won the fight, but I just thought he won the first and the third round, and Barry got the second round. But that's why, yeah, that's why a big thing when I started doing this YouTube and that you can't be betting. Well, personally, I think it's hard to be betting while what's it called? It's obviously watching the fights and that because you have a bit of bias. If you got money on someone to win and it's competitive, you're obviously gonna go with the guy that you got money on. Do you know what I mean? It's a no-brainer. Who wouldn't? So no, really good fight. This whole card in general was actually a pretty decent card, if memory serves right. Derrida shocking the world, putting Whitaker out. Nice split decision. Who did Derrida finish? Nickel before that, maybe. God knows, God knows. Like I say, the video is long enough already. Let's not go off on another tangent. But yeah, solid fight. But wow, the fight after this fight coming up, number 26. Wow, Chris Duncan again, and oh my god, this is one of the best fights I've watched live, if not the best fight I've watched live. Absolute barn burner. And I made up for that last parlay by hitting a 1 to 100 on this one, but I didn't have a lot of money on it, people. That's another reason why you don't gamble, because it's always, oh, I could have put more money on that. Oh my god, don't gamble, people. Right, what a, just hold up a sec. 4-fight win streak as well. Balaj, Vucenic, Rebecca, all solid wins. I think you gotta give Duncan someone in the top 15 next. You've got it. Right, this fight. Wow. So I thought one of my phones was going off. Right, yeah, wow, what a war this was. And Rebecca was wearing it on the end, to say the least. What have they got? Duncan on the underdog again. Crazy. I think he's entered most of his fights as underdog. People need to stop counting Duncan out, man. But yeah, wow, what a fight this was. Duncan come up with Chris striking, using his reach and sharp punches to set the tone. Early elbows and a straight right did visible damage to Rebecca. Rebecca wasn't afraid to trade though. He lands some nice shots, solid takedowns, but he suffered a significant cut, and the swelling got worse and worse as the fight went on. But yeah, wow, yeah, big swelling on his right eye. I think Duncan's elbows, the strike that caused it, opening Rebecca up. Duncan did enough damage. Yeah, yeah, Duncan easily done enough damage to win that round. 10-9 Duncan, round one. Round two, wow, just the fight just kept getting better and better. Rebecca opened up with leg kicks, forward pressure, trying to chop down Duncan's base. Duncan fired a 12-strike combo that opened up Rebecca again, putting cuts above both his eyes. kept backing Rebecca up. Like, Rebecca was a mess after this fight. Becky's still trying to mix in the takedowns, still trying to pressure Duncan, but Duncan's strike volume and accuracy is just dot. He looks unreal in this fight, particularly with his body kicks and teeps, pushing the pace. I thought that was another Duncan round. Like I say, close. Well, not when you look at them. Rebecca looked like he'd been hit by a bus, and Duncan didn't look that bad in comparison. But just watching them brawl, yeah, it was a very, very close fight. Duncan done enough, but yeah, it was our very first close 2 rounds, sorry, and wow, to end it, the third round, Rebecca lands some sharp combos, looking for the finish. He needed a finish. He catches a kick, takes Duncan down for a second. They both scramble back to their feet. Close strikes, elbows, hooks traded. Duncan connects with a right hand. There's blood everywhere. Both fighters were wearing it. Rebecca a lot more, but Duncan still had his cuts. The final 3 minutes was a bloody back and forth. Rebecca had his moments, don't get me wrong, but Duncan won every round for me. And like I say, this was one of them fights where you're just watching it like these people are a different breed. Like, obviously, I've got plans and stuff to go. Obviously, I'll do me gym, but obviously start training properly, like Muay Thai. Obviously, at the home of Muay Thai, if you know what I'm saying, people. But I don't want to go too much into that. But yeah, wow, it's just one of them fights that makes you think that these people were born thousands of years ago. They'd be in the Colosseum scrapping out with a lion, or you know what I mean, each other. Like, yeah, absolutely crazy, proper stuff. Oh, sorry, people. Get a drink, right. 27. That leaves us with 15 fights left. Not bad. Right, next we've got. This was a really fun fight, and I think the second fight of this year, we're gonna see old Fluffy back. But let me get this up. I feel like I'm sat there hunchbacked as well. Had it all set up perfectly. Look at that hunchback. Oh my god. I'm feeling it. Oh, that's why you want to have good form when you're doing your deadlifts at the gym. Oh, right. And he goes straight back to leaning over. Right, people. The 27th card of the year, 27th fight I'm going to talk about in this video. We've got Roman Dolidze, who I'll be honest, I thought he was going to beat Fluffy. I like Fluffy, but I thought it was too big of a step up. You might be thinking Dolidze, too big of a step up, but as you just seen then, I think he had a win over Vittori, Anthony Smith. He was looking good. I was high on Dolidze. I was honestly high on Dolidze, but this Fluffy performance was something else. You see when people complain about Khamzat versus DDP. Sorry, people. I should have really had this before starting. See when people complain about Khamzat DDP, I completely understand, because all Khamzat's fights before that, he's never been the type to just get you down and just not risk it and not risk position, not go for a big strike and risk maybe them getting up. And I understand it was the title fight, it was his make and break moment. Very painful to watch, but at the end of the day, you can't blame anyone really but DDP for letting it happen. And I'm a big DDP fan, massive DDP fan. But you can't get mad at Khamzat for, do you know what I mean, playing it safe. It's his one chance to win the title. If he comes back in his title defense and does the same, then I ain't gonna be happy. But you can't have any complaints with that in a title fight. But this is what people want to see when you have grappling heavy performances. Grappling mixed in with the striking, grappling, getting someone down, getting control, and doing something with it, throwing punches, not laying on them. Just, do you know what I mean? Trying to get control time. It's yeah, like this was a perfect example. Let me go on to my notes because yeah, Fluffy and yeah, what a run he's on, and this fight that he's got coming up against Strickland, it's a tough one for me. Like I say, I love Strickland, I love Fluffy. Almost one of them ones like, is it a passing the torch moment? Is Strickland gonna ever see the title again? No disrespect, like, but Fluffy, fresh, crazy win streak. Don't shoot me, but you could see him giving Kamzat problems with his grappling. I know that's probably a mad take and that, but I can see it. I can literally see it. But round one, wow, what a performance this was for Fluffy. He comes out straight off the bat, fast, throws a right from the opening bell, and that, oh, sorry, right from the opening bell, he comes out fast. Hernandez is applying forward pressure, using his pace and physicality, which sounds weird saying because when you look at them next to each other, Delidze is the one who looks like he's got the like mass. I think Fluffy almost looks a bit like stretchier, for lack of a better words. But yeah, Hernandez, he ends up he puts Delidze on the back foot straight away. He's landing clean punches and elbows while Delidze is trying to fire back with power shots, but Hernandez's volume, he didn't have any answer for it. Hernandez was, like I say, was doing such a great job mixing in the clinch work with the occasional takedown, forcing Delidze to constantly be wary to defend. The output was relentless, the cage control, the output, it was easily Hernandez's round. Great first round for Hernandez. Second round, same story. Comes out, continuing to walk Delidze down, landing heavy strikes. His cardio was superior to Delidze's. Delidze was basically just trying to be defensive now. He was throwing away their strikes, absorbing all the pressure, weren't landing a lot. Hernandez was keeping up with the volume, cleaner connections, kept the momentum coming. Yeah, Hernandez resting and clinches, you can see it wearing on Delidze's energy levels at this point. Easily 2 rounds up for Hernandez. The third round, Hernandez continues to find success on the feet and in positions on the ground. Mid-round, Hernandez takes him down, gets top position, and he stays busy. That's what I mean. He stays busy the whole fight. He doesn't take him down and go, right, I'm going to catch a breath and lay on him for a bit. He stays working. But the output from Delidze is pretty much insignificant now. Well, massively dropped from the first round. Hernandez is still pressing, not non-stop, absolute machine, wearing Delidze down. Another easy round for Hernandez. It was dominance, absolute dominance. Round 4, Hernandez, he comes straight where he left off. He gets Delidze to the fence. He's dictating the fence, being relentless. He lands some heavy knees and some strikes across the fence. He ends up maneuvering behind Delidze. I remember this. I think he's like smiling or he sticks his tongue out or something while he's got him in the choke. And Delidze ends up tapping out 2 minutes and 45 seconds into 2 minutes 45 seconds into round 4, getting Hernandez's first victory via submission. Surprisingly, it didn't look like it was his first time doing that. And as we see there, he's actually got 5th best MMA submission of the year. So fair play to him. Like I say, great year for Fluffy. That win was absolutely unreal win. If I see, we see who Fluffy's fought, what he's on. Oh, Delidze versus Chris Leroy Duncan. Oh, I thought he was up next. No, we have got Chris Leroy Duncan on here as well. Big up the English boy. But Fluffy, let's just have a look at this quick, because yeah, what a run Fluffy's on. Delidze, Derrida, that would have been a good fight. Brandon Allen, another one he's been looking really good as well. Pereira, Kopylov, Shabazian, Barry, who we just talked about. Yeah, wow. very looking forward to this fight with Fluffy versus Sean. February, yeah, it must be the second pay per view or second event of the year. That one is going to be a banger, people. Absolute banger. Still recording, perfect. But right, this next one, wow. As I say, this was a tough one. I talked about it earlier in the video. What the? Um, what the hell's going on? What? One sec. Let me stop the recording, people, and see what the hell's going on with that. I'll see you in a. Sorry about that, peeps. I don't know what the fuck that was. Madness. But as I was saying, this is one of them cards where it was so tough to pick. Mainly between these two fights. A really good card as well, to be fair. Um, Barboza versus Close. That was a good fight. Hernandez versus Chase Hooper. Hernandez getting that nice finish over Hooper. Buzzer beater finish. Another buzzer beater finish with Prates versus Jeff Neal. Oh, you could have gone either way with this one. As I said, they were both. You couldn't write it back to not just on the same night, back to back. But clearly a few other people agree because this was ranked the second best knockout of the year, just behind the Rufi knockout over Green that we had a look at earlier. But yeah, wow, what a fight. I know a lot of people had Pico, a similar thing to not similar to the Johnson fight, but I don't know how people were so high on Pico without improving himself in the UFC, especially after Patchy Mix coming over and not looking that great. Pitbull coming over and not looking that great. Yeah, it's one of them ones when will people learn, I guess. But yeah, Lerone Murphy. Wow, what a finish this was. Fight starts off with Pico coming forward aggressively. He lands a quick left hand. He's using body shots, low kicks to try to pressure Murphy early. Murphy's absorbing some heavy blows. He has to move. He's a bit on the back foot to be fair, early in the round. But he's staying composed. He doesn't panic despite the early onslaught from Pico. Pico secures a takedown, which a lot of people thought this was going to be the tail of the tape. Pico's grappling would have just been too much. I'll be honest, I did see a video of Pico training with Armin and Kamzat, and I thought, shit, I hope Lerone's I hope Lerone's coming in 100% because he was looking like a beast, absolute beast. But yeah, as I say, he gets the takedown. He does some work on top. Murphy scrambles back to his feet really effectively, showing solid defense, recovers well under Pico's pressure. Murphy also finds opportunities to strike when separated. He lands a nice knee to the body as Pico's coming forward. And about 2 minutes into the fight, there's a big momentum shift. Pico's still pressuring, but Murphy's using the space perfectly. He's countering, he's moving. Pico can't find him. Basically, almost like, I don't want to say rage bait. Carlos Prates fully rage baited Jeff Neal into his spinning elbow KO. Oh, shit. Because fucking he literally said to him, like, are you a wrestler now? Or something like that. And Jeff Neal lets go and just, oh my God. Couldn't write it. Big up Jeff Neal as well, wasn't it? Oh, I love watching Jeff Neal fight, innit? Yeah, proper scrapper, innit? I think he come back like nearly died and that as well from some mad illness. So big up to Jeff Neal. But yeah, big momentum shift. Pico's still coming forward aggressive, but as he's coming forward, completely disrespecting Murphy's just completely disrespecting Murphy's power, speed, like his striking, comes in near enough with his hands down, and lands a perfectly timed spinning back elbow, catching Pico flush on the tempo. Yeah, he was sleeping before he even hit the canvas. 3 minutes 21 seconds into round one, almost looking like Pico was gonna start dominating him. it was only a minute or two into the fight, but you know what I mean. Everyone thought that was going to happen. Let's see. There you go. 3/4 of people thought Murphy was. Oh no, sorry. Nah, no way. I thought a lot more people thought Pico was going to win that, but just from what I've seen, yeah, Murphy underdog. Yeah, God knows. Maybe not as many people as I thought. Twitter was people going crazy for Pico. Like, so yeah, well, second time we've seen Murphy on this video. Yeah, two amazing performances from him. Like I say, it's very disappointing they've not gave Murphy the title shot against Volk, especially how coming off this win against Pico, it was literally perfect. He's already. Let's have a quick look at Murphy. I'm pretty sure he's undefeated as well, off the top of my head. Murphy's story is mad as well. Obviously, he's been like shot. Like I think he got shot like 3 or 4 times. One time in the head. Yeah, Murphy's got a crazy story. Absolutely crazy story. Right, Lerone Murphy. Yeah, how's he not got the title shot? Let's have a little quick look at Lerone, because I don't think Pico was his last fight. There's rumours of the Evloev fight. I don't think that's confirmed. But look at this. How are they doing the Lopez rematch? 70-1. 1 loss. Must be early on in his career, because I thought he was 9-1. Who's he lost to? Saying he hadn't lost to anyone, was it before the UFC? Draw. Who did he draw against? Right at this, literally his UFC debut. Wow, Khabib versus Poirier. You could have right it, and look at the run that he's gone since then. Ricardo Ramos finishing the first round. Douglas Silva. Yeah. Not the biggest names to start off with, I'll be honest. Douglas Silva's the only one I know. I like Gabriel Santos is ringing a bell. Edward Usman's free. Josh Kuliabo, obviously. But look at that. Barboza, Danny Ige, Josh Emmett, Aaron Pico, all back to back. How many wins in a row is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins in a row. That fight against Nathaniel Wood would have been good as well. Don't like seeing the English boys fight, like coming up in prospects together. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that would have been a scrap. Nathaniel Wood's a scrapper. But yeah, how are you not giving Murphy the title shot? Like, it literally don't make any sense to me. Like, even, I'll tell you what, we're going off on a tangent now. Rankings. Where's featherweight? Right, featherweight. Poirier's obviously vacant. Holloway's near enough at lightweight now by the looks of it. It's got to be Evloev or not Rodriguez. Sorry, it's got to be Evloev or Murphy surely instead of Lopez. Don't get me wrong. We'll get onto that Lopez performance over Gian Silva. It was an unreal performance, absolutely unreal. Another spinning elbow KO. Funnily enough, that's 3 fights away. So we'll get onto that. But yeah, come on. Hopefully they give Lerone. They do Lerone Evloev. I don't want him to sit about, even though. Well, look how that's going for Arman at the minute. There's whether it's right or wrong, you can't just sit out and go, no, I'm waiting for my title shot. That's not how it works. That's not how to do it. Get in there active, Aspinall it, get the interim belt and defend the interim belt. That's the level that you should be on. But yeah, great performance from Murphy. Like I say, really good card in general. DDP, as we were talking about just before, the DDP versus Kamzat fight weren't the best, but what can you do? The whole card on the whole was one of the best main cards of the year. Yeah, easily. Some great highlight reels on that card. Now we've got one of it's a weird one. I remember watching Charles Johnson. I think the first time I seen Charles Johnson was against Mokiev. I want to say they need to get Mokiev back in the UFC as well. But was it Mokiev? Like, look how active Charles Johnson is, man. This is why a big reason I put him on it. Well, it was a good fight. I don't think there was much else that happened on this card, to be fair. But Charles Johnson is the definition. He's definition of BMF. I mean, look at this. Mokiev. Before that, LFA. Yeah, UFC debut against Mokiev. Win against Samagomedov. Win against Jimmy Flick. Odie Osborne, no shame in that. Or Cody Durden. Bit of a losing streak there. But look at this. Win over Azat. Win over Jake Hadley. Win over Joshua Van. Crazy. Do you know what I mean? The now champion. Charles Johnson is different. Yeah, he's different. And this fight, yeah, like I say, there wasn't a lot of competition, I'll be honest. Obviously, the Johnny Walker knockout's nice. Yeah, as you see, there weren't that much competition. It was between this and the Johnny Walker Zhang fight. But yeah, Charles Johnson, man, you can't see it in the picture there, but obviously that mad haircut that he normally has, bold with it just at the back. Wow. But yeah, to get into this, Charles Johnson versus Lorna Kavanagh, 29th card of the year. Nearly getting to the end of this now. We're in what month's this? Fucking hell. Saturday, the 23rd of September is in American time, American dates. 23rd of September, I think. Yeah, wow. So Kavanagh come out fast, confident, using his kickboxing background to press the action, staying busy with combinations and leg kicks. His forward movement and volume was dictating a lot of the first half round of the fight. Johnson was more measured low, countering, using his jab, moving, staying sharp, avoiding being overwhelmed while getting a feel for Kavanagh's rhythm and timing at the same time. Couple minutes into the first round, momentum swings. Kavanagh's aggression continued, but Johnson's landing the cleaner shots. Nice shots over the top when Kavanagh's overextending. Great pace from both fighters, both trading, nice exchanges. Kavanagh pressuring, but Johnson's accuracy and timing was really beginning to show by the end of the round. I thought Johnson done enough to win the round. Same argument as earlier. Don't want to sound like a broken record, but damage. And Johnson was landing the cleaner shots. He done more damage. You could argue Kavanagh was throwing a bit more pressure, but I thought Johnson's shots were doing more. But second round opened up similar to the first. Kavanagh looking sharp, working his combinations, forward movement while Johnson's maintaining composure, waiting for an opening. Kavanagh's continuing to press, but the pace is beginning to take a toll on his energy. Johnson's counters are looking more and more cleaner. He's finding that timing more and more often. Ends up towards about mid to late round two. Johnson, he throws a big right hand that connects clean to Kavanagh, and he's knocked out cold. It's a brilliant KO win for Charles Johnson. As I say, Charles Johnson, awesome fighter. Yeah, really looking forward to see what's next for Charles Johnson. After this is Benoit God of War. This is what I meant earlier when I said people would criticizing Dustin Poirier. And then you look back and that performance over Benoit held the test of time so well. Benoit's looked like a different beast since he's fought Poirier. That Rufi fight and that Benil fight, well, we're gonna get onto the Rufi fight now, but the Benil fight as well, 16 seconds in. Wow, what a fight that was. But we've got round 30, 12 more fights to go. 13 fights including this one. Not long now, not long now. On Ibanov versus Baralio, which I didn't think was the most amazing fight in the world. That Paul Craig fight, that was a good fight. Um, the Delia fight, I thought he was looking like a different gravy against Tybora, and you seen what happened against Waldo. But Benoit versus Rufi, wow. Obviously, Rufi was coming into this so hot. Obviously, riding that lovely fucking. I think he must have just fought Bobby Green before this. So, alright, just double checking we're still recording. Yeah, Bobby Green before this, obviously getting the knockout of the year. Yeah, he was coming. He come 160 favourite. Look at that. 90% of people thought Rufi was going to win this. Me being one of them. Benoit obviously got the win over Carl Prepelet before this, but that loss to Dustin Poirier really put a lot of doubt in people's minds, and this was the beginning of the fall of grace for the fighting nerds. Yeah, wow, what a performance from Benoit. Coming in as the underdog, he gets the double underhook to the body. 40 seconds in, gets side control into full mount. 1 minute into the fight, he lands some good ground and pound. Rufi gives up his back. He gets the body triangle. Rufi reverses. Ref stands him up. Benoit takes him down again, straight into full mount. Rufi has no answer for any of Benoit's grappling. The crowd's going crazy. The French crowd always goes crazy. Big up the French. But he goes for the arm triangle, doesn't get it. He clinches against the cage. He's landing some good shots. Benoit lands a nut shot. They both catch a breather. I don't think either of them were complaining about that, to be fair. Well needed breather. Dominant round for Benoit, in my opinion, going into the second. And the seconds, wow, BSD's mixing it up so well with the striking and the takedowns. He gets the takedown, starts landing some nasty ground and pound into the rear naked choke. And yeah, 2 minutes, 56 seconds into round 2, he gets a nasty, it's almost like a face crank, I want to say, over Rufi. Yeah, it was absolutely savage. Yeah, the fighting nerds, wow, they took a bit of a turn at the end of the year. No shame in it, they can come back, but yeah, wow. Funnily enough, right after this, we've got Diego Lopez versus Gene Silva, which was the final fight, and obviously it was a bit of a scam anyway, because there's other fighting nerds. That's not how you spell Diego. There's other fighting nerds. Like, Fighting Nerds is a gym in Brazil, correct me if I'm wrong, and they're not the only 4 people that go to that gym. But they were the 4 people from that gym that were undefeated. I'm pretty sure they got other fighters in the UFC in the fighting nerds that train at the Fighting Nerds gym. But Diego Lopez put an end to all of the hope of the fight. One of the last fighting Gene Silva, who I was very high on as well. I thought Bryce Mitchell was going to smoke him, and you've seen what he done to Bryce Mitchell. But Gene Silva, he just got too big for his boots in this one, and wow, I tell you what, the Prates loss against Ian Gary, that was annoying as anything to watch. Watching Prates have Gary on all fours, and Prates just stood there going, "Can't wait to get out of here and smoke a fag," when he could have just thrown a couple punches. Oh my god, I don't even want to talk about it. That was so frustrating to watch, so frustrating. But at the same time, no shame in it. Ian Gary's a very, very good fighter, arguably championship level. That could be a fight for Makachev next as well. Do you know what I mean? Ian Gary, Morales. Who else are we just talking about? Prates is on a run. Yeah, wow, literally. Welterweight, as I said, is absolutely stacked. But I think there's the least amount of shame in the Prates loss to Ian Gary, because obviously look at what he's come back from as well since then. I know these boys haven't had a chance to come back yet. Show them if they're, do you know what I mean? it's a one-off or this is the end of the fight in theirs. But yeah, wow, this was this was another crazy fight. There's been some unreal fights this year, absolutely great fights. I've only been watching since COVID times, so I've watched back other, do you know what I mean, fights. But if we're talking straight watching live fights, this has definitely got to be up there for one of the best years for me. Definitely got to be up there. But Diego Lopez, Gene Silva, round one, Lopez asserts himself, comes out strong, using his wrestling and grappling to take Silva down. He gets full mount, and this is when he gets on top of Silva and he starts putting faces, and that's when I knew it was game over for Silva. I knew he wasn't beating this Lopez. You can't give Lopez the Volt fight over this, so that Murphy deserves it more. But anyway, I need to stop going on about that. But yeah, he comes out unloading heavy elbows, ground and pounds, opens up Silva's head, a nasty cut. Silva's trying to scramble, get back to his feet, but Lopez top controls, relentless. He's dictating the complete flow of the fight. Silva survives, but he's not looking good. He's looking bloodied up. He eventually gets back up. He begins working at striking. Similar thing to Pico in the Murphy fight, just complete lack of respect for Diego's stand up and striking. Lopez is still setting the pace, landing the strikes, staying in control. Lopez actually outstruck Silva 50-10 in this round, and easily could have got a 10-8 based on that performance with the ground and the control time on top and all the damage that he done. At least 10-9, but could give it. I don't think anyone could be mad at a 10-8 to Lopez. But wow, round two. I wouldn't even say a momentum shift, but a bit of a momentum shift. Silva comes out looking strong, very aggressive. He's landing clean and heavier shots, but at the same time, Lopez is still doing really well defending it all. He looks like he's gaining momentum though. Like it could, do you know what I mean? We've seen Silva do it before. He's looking like he's got Lopez on the back foot a bit, forcing him to retreat and be a bit more reactive. But this finishing sequence, Silva pressing forwards, looking to capitalize on having Lopez on the back foot, but Lopez does this perfectly timed spinning back elbow, the third one of the year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Murphy, Prates, Lopez. Yeah, wow. Yeah, lands flush on Silva, sends him crashing down into the canvas. Blood's pouring everywhere from Silva's head. He follows up with a few ground and pound shots, and the ref steps in, calling it at 4 minutes and 48 of round two. TKO, and what a TKO it was to Diego Lopez. Back to the drawing board for Gene Silva, and it'll be very interesting to see if Lopez has made the right adjustments for this Volk fight, because the first fight was close. It was close. Volk obviously won it, but if Lopez makes the right adjustments, I can very easily see him getting the, not very easily, but I wouldn't put it past him getting the win over Volk. But you know how we feel about Volk. Volk's the OG. I'd love to see Volk finish his career on a win and sail off into the sunset and do all his cooking videos. But you know what this game's like. Not everyone gets the Robbie Lawler. Who did Robbie Lawler get that knockout against? The other older fella. No disrespect. Forget his name. Not a lot of people get the Robbie Lawler going out on a knockout win. Wow, look, Carlos Olberg, he's got a big argument to be fighting for the light heavyweight title next. Against Dominic Reyes, I was high on Dominic Reyes as well coming into this. I thought Reyes was making that title run. Obviously, in my opinion, he beat John Jones, so he shouldn't be having to chase the title for the first time anyway, but yeah. Right. Still recording. 23 minutes, 32. List one and then 10 more fights. So I'm going to get list one done. I'm going to have a quick coffee, quick smoke, and then get the last 10 fights done. Wow, this video is going to be so long. I think like 3-4 hours. But yeah, wow. Thank you if you've been watching it and you're at this point. Wow, fucking hell, thank you. And it's very much appreciated. I hope you've got what you wanted out of the video. But yeah, Olberg versus Reyes. Both fighters begin using low kicks, jabs, trying to gauge the distance. Olberg's foot. Sorry, you don't want to be looking at just my ugly mutt. There we go. I have my little ugly mutt in the corner, and these boys fucking on the rest of the screen. Right. Reyes is trying to find his rhythm with leg kicks, but Olberg's consistently managing the distance, not allowing Reyes to unload. Olberg's beginning to establish his timing, landing jabs, occasional combos, keeping Reyes reactive instead of proactive. Olberg was wanting Reyes to commit before countering. Reyes remained cautious, trying to set up his own shots, but he was consistently failing to close distance, normally eating a jab or body kick while doing so. First 3 minutes into the fight, Reyes scrambled to make something happen, pushing forward behind Olberg. Olberg sort of rage baits him, for lack of a better words. Unleashes a perfectly timed left straight, and then left straight, and then yeah, left straight, which snapped Reyes' head back, and then followed it up with a crushing right hand that dropped Reyes. Before Reyes could recover, Olberg lands a couple he lands a follow-up punch, and the ref steps in with 30 seconds to go in round one, 4 minutes 27 seconds into it. Great win for Olberg, great win. Obviously riding a really nice win streak. Who could I say? Pereira versus Olberg. I wouldn't be mad at Pereira versus Olberg. Olberg deserves the title shot, but I wouldn't be mad at seeing. Nah, Yuri. You can't give Yuri Pereira straight away. You can't. Olberg's gotta be getting the title shot next. Let's have a quick look at rankings, people, because we've got 10 more fights after this. Funnily enough, we've got Pereira versus Magomed to talk about right after this, but yeah, you got Yuri up there, Khalil. I say, mate, Yuri versus Ankalev. Tell me if I'm wrong, people, but this is what I would do. I'd do Yuri versus Ankalev, and I'd do Olberg versus Pereira. And then the winner, and I'll do Roundtree versus Reyes, and the winner of Ankalev, Yuri, depending how that fight goes, fights Pereira or Olberg if he wins, but I think Pereira should win that. And yeah, you can't be throwing Yuri or Ankalev straight back in there. Like I say, they're fun fights. I won't complain, but I think Olberg's rightly earned his shot at the title, so be interesting to see what the UFC do with this one. But right, 10 more fights to go. Wow, 10 more fights to go, people. I'm gonna get a coffee, get this all shipped over. I'm sending it over to my blower, downloading it, doing me little bit I'm not doing much editing, but I've got to stitch all my videos together. I've done it in like 4, 5, 6, 7 parts, but what's it called? Bear with me, peeps. Let me get sorted, and we'll get these last 10 fights, and we've got some good ones coming up, people. All right, I'll see you in a second. I'll tell you what, people, after having a little think, this could top JDM versus Bilal for my favourite fight of the year. The rematch of Magomed Ankalev versus Alex Pereira. But before we go into the rematch and break it down, we're just going to stop and take a second to look at the run that Alex Pereira went on when he joined the UFC. Because me personally, I was unfortunate enough to be around to watch McGregor, like in the moment, watch McGregor's run. Khabib's, like, really. Um, not all of Adesanya's, if I'm thinking correctly. Yeah, obviously a bit, but I've seen a little bit of Usman's, but I've not got the chance before Pereira to watch. He was well established in kickboxing at Glory, etc., etc., before coming to the UFC, having that famous 2 wins over Adesanya. But I've never got to see the zero to hero. And watching Alex Pereira from the moment he joined the UFC, all off the back foot of that beef with Izzy, and watching him that flying knee in 18 seconds against Andres, the UD against Bruno Silva, the left hook against Sean Strickland, classic Kali meme with Sean Strickland. I just got a bad feeling I'm not recording. Thank God for that. I got PTSD from that take where it weren't recording and I was just waffling. 20 minutes of waffle gone. But yeah, that left hook against Strickland, obviously that win against Adesanya, and there's no shame in the loss against Adesanya either. That weight cut was horrific for Pereira, and he's gone up to light heavyweight, sorry. And yeah, wow, the win over Yan, as soon as he's gone up a bit, that's when Yan was having a bit of that unlucky run. But yeah, the win over Yuri, TKO, the win over Jamal Hill, where Jamal Hill, he's been kicked in the nuts by Jamal Hill in the classic stop. Oh, all these fights, not just me, my mum as well. My mum's been able to, we've both been able to witness that, like I say, zero to hero. And yeah, Pereira, wow. Roundtree before that, and like that run of fights just, it's one of them ones where I know everyone obviously knows how crazy it is, but like I say, a lot of people, I'm a bit of a newbie in a sense where, like I say, I've only started watching the UFC during COVID. I didn't get to see McGregor's live. I didn't see. I didn't. This was almost my McGregor. Do you know what I mean? For lack of a better words, but yeah, wow, what a legacy that he's got, and wherever he goes next, if they put him in the White House against Aspinall for the heavyweight belt, even if they don't want to do that, John Judge, triple champion, would be an absolutely unreal feat. Absolutely unreal feat. But we'll actually look back. Nah, you know what? We're not even looking back at that loss. It was an off night. He was injured. I got all my notes there actually for the first fight as well. But fuck that. None of that negative shit. As Glover said, no rematch, no rematch. But wow, what a difference this was. Pereira would come out aggressive, completely different to the first fight, unloading strikes from the opening bell, backing Ankalev up straight away. He lands a huge right hand that drops Ankalev, sends him crashing down. He's straight on top of him, following up some blistering strikes, big flurry, punching, hammer fist, elbows. Ref steps in, minute 20. No, Ankalev didn't even complain. He had no answer for it. People were complaining about the stoppage, like idiots, in my opinion. Ankalev himself didn't even complain about the stoppage. That's how you know it wasn't a bad stoppage. But wow, Shammer indeed. What a fight. Like I say, I think it's right to give him Oldberg next. New fighter, someone he hasn't fought before as well. Keep it interesting, but yeah, wow. And then to top off, I thought this was a good weekend, and obviously you might have a little inkling in what fight's going to be next, the 34th card of the year. And yes, Charles de Bronx. I'm going to spell this one right, people. Charles de Bronx Oliveira. Now this fight, coming off that Ilya knockout, everyone was doubting. Even if you love Oliveira, you'd be lying if you said you weren't doubting him. Coming back this quick against a top level opponent like Gamrot. I know obviously like Gamrot's got some good wins. The Arman win, I think Arman won that fight, but do you know what I mean? That's a different story. Wow, I forgot he's fighting Holloway. That's going to be so good. The rematch. Obviously, he had that thing with his throat when they fought the first time, but that's when not when people say that's when Oliveira was a quitter, but far from a quitter. He was a young lad learning on the job. Do you know what I mean? A bit like me with all this fucking YouTube shit and computer stuff. But yeah, wow, this was like I say, I was on such a high from Pereira getting that win over Ankalev. I thought nothing can top it. I thought it'd be nice if Oliveira gets the win, but yeah, it was one of them ones. I've done my video actually, my UFC Fight Night Brazil prediction video. Um, Click on this. Yeah, like win one lose when he beat Benil in between the loss between Arman and Arman and Ilya. Sorry, but no offense to Benil. Sorry, but everyone's been beating him at the minute. But yeah, this was a good card as well. Mario Pinto, Portuguese, but not Portuguese. We're claiming him London boy. He got a lovely knockout. Joel Alvarez, Luque. I thought Joel Alvarez finished that fight like 5 or 6 times, but yeah, that was a really weird one. Figueiredo, Montel Jackson, Figgy coming out as the underdog, surprising everyone after that Sandhagen performance, but just showing obviously everyone has off nights. You know what I mean? Rewind to Pereira fighting Ankara for the first time. Injuries happen, off nights happen. Sometimes an excuse is valid. Do you know what I mean? But it's still an excuse at the end of the day, whether it's right or wrong. It's down to you to justify that right. But wow, like I say, this was great. I'm pretty sure Gamrot come running out as a bit of a meme. He comes sprinting out, and that Oliveira's come out cool as a cucumber as always. Always thanks to the opposition, or wishes them luck or whatever he does. Very respectful, very very respectful. But the first round, the opening exchanges, both men feeling each other out. A bit of a mixture between light striking and a bit of probing takedown and feinting. Gamrot's obviously well known for his elite wrestling. He's a bit of a chain wrestler. He likes to initiate takedowns early, but he went for one. Oliveira did well to defend and stay active, and he didn't get on his back. About a couple minutes into the first round, they stand up on the feet, both fighters landing shots. Gamrot lands a clean right hand. Oliveira counters nicely low, keeps it moving. Oliveira is using his top control when he gets close, threatening submissions, tying up Gamrot to neutralize some offense. Round one was competitive, but I think Oliveira done just enough to win the rounds. Yeah, I gave it to Oliveira, but it was a close round. But I was getting pretty excited at this point, and the second round, he comes out. Gamrot's staying aggressive, working his strikes, pushing forward as Oliveira's trying to close the distance. Both men trading on the feet. Oliveira ends up getting control in the clinch. He gets the takedown after mixing in it with the strikes. Where he gets Gamrot on the floor, once on the ground, he gets Gamrot's back. He obviously using that world class jiu-jitsu. He ends up with getting Gamrot in a rear naked choke and ends up making Gamrot tap 2.5 minutes into 2:48 minutes into round two. Absolutely unreal. I was buzzing. Absolutely buzzing with this. It was wow. What a win for Oliveira. What a win. And that Holloway fight is wow. That's gonna be fireworks off. We've got some good fights coming up, people. I'm gonna be doing predictions for. We're gonna be doing prediction videos for every card this year. Now that I've got the laptop all set up, I'm getting the hang of it and stuff. It might not seem like it to you people that are like all savvy and that with it, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there, innit? I'm getting there. Hopefully, this time next year, I've got yeah, I've got a lot more, yeah, a lot more fucking. I know a lot more what I'm doing with the old videos and that. Like you're not sat here watching me fucking struggle to type in a name for 30 seconds. There's got to be a better way to this, but I was gonna have it all loaded up, but this I don't think it would have handled that. But wow, that is a hard last two opponents for old Carl Preppelet, Benoit Saint Denis, and Drew Dober. Do you know what I mean? He's not yeah, he's not high up in the rankings, obviously, but Drew Dober, he's got that knockout power. He can touch you once and that's it, game over. Brendan Allen Derrida, that was an interesting fight. Could have arguably had that one over this one. I thought Derrida was going to win that, to be honest, but yeah, Brendan Allen really surprised me. Almost shows you how good Fluffy Hernandez is with what he done to Brendan Allen. You know what I mean? But shout out to Jasmine Javicius as well. She ended up losing to Manaflora, but there was no shame in it at all. I've got a feeling that she's actually going to be a problem for that division. I don't know off the top of my head, sorry, but yeah, she's going to be a problem. She was on a nice little win streak before that. Who else fought on this card? Danny Barlow, another loss. He fought Sam Patterson, who we talked about earlier. Yeah, it would have had to be between Charles Jourdain got a nice sub, but it was over Davy Grant, so we can't put that as the best fight. Yeah, Brendan Allen Derrida or this one, but both good fights. You have to let me know which one you prefer. I prefer the. I love a knockout. You know what I mean? So I'm always going to edge towards the one that's got the nice knockout. But yeah, this round it starts out. Both men opening with leg kick exchanges. Perfect. Both men opening up with leg kick exchanges, trying to establish range and timing. Dober's obviously got the heavier shots. He's got power in his hands, proper power. He starts landing some hard punches, especially ones over the top. Prepelec's looking a bit cautious. Prepelec's trying to mix in some body kicks, trying to disrupt Rober's rhythm, but he's struggling to land shots consistently. The heavier shots and the cleaner shots went to Dober in that round. I think there's not much of an argument, or anyone's going to argue with giving Dober that round. Round two, both fighters they're trading. A bit more active than they were in the first rounds. Neither of them are shying away from shots or counters. Prepelec gets a little bit more going than he was in the first, landing some stronger kicks and punches later in the rounds, including a body kick that helped move Dober back. But when Dober lands, it's damaged. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a complete different story when Dober lands a big punch to when Prepelec lands a big punch. And he's landing solid punches. Prepelec's putting in some late pressure, switching up the strikes. He made it a lot more competitive than the first round. He also opened up Dober's shin, which you could arguably give it to Prepelec on damage. My whole argument about damage, cutting him open, and that biggest moment in the round, arguably. So could go with giving Prepelec that round, but another close round. And it wouldn't matter anyway, as we'll find out. But yeah, bit of a turn of events where there was Dober landed a groin kick that dropped Prepelec. The referee deducted a point from Dober. Obviously, Prepelec took a bit of time to recover, also giving Dober time to recover at the same time, obviously. And Dober just used that to his advantage. I don't know why more fighters don't do that. Well, it's a bit dirty. But if you're fucking absolutely shattered and you need to take a bit of a breather, you just throw a little. You don't have to fucking make sure the guy ain't having kids anymore. Just a little tap to get a little breather. 2 minutes, get your breath back, like what Dober done in this fight. A lot of fighters do it, to be fair. And yeah, use it completely to his advantage. Come out, he was explosive, firing off knees, elbows, heavy punches while pressure and prep elect towards the cage, and yeah, he yeah, basically just it yeah, yeah, it was a standing finish, standing TKO, punches, knees, elbows. Um, I don't know. Actually, don't quote me on that one. This was one that I watched back ages ago. But solid win from Dober. Like it'll be interesting to see what he does next. Um, yeah, he's yeah, I wouldn't say he's ready for another ranked opponent yet. When did he last fight someone ranked? Let's have a look at this. Manuel Torres, is he ranked? Gene Silva, no shame in that. Renato Moicano, I mean, look at these losses. Matt Frivola, nice little 3-fight win streak against some good competition. Bobby Green, Rafael Alves, and Terence McKinney. I can see Dober coming back. Like I say, easily get back top 15. Easily. Just needs the right path of fights. But Drew Dober is one of them fighters. He always brings the fight entertaining. Yeah, great fight. Carl Prepolette versus Drew Dober. Now up next, wow, as we won't go into it too much because we talked about him quite a lot earlier. But what Walter Walker done this year was unheard of. If you were to put money on this before the Junior Taffa fight or Justin Taffa fight, whichever one it was that he fought, I wonder what the odds would be if you said he's going to get 4 heel hooks in a row in his next 4 fights. Bet 365 would probably only give you 40 to 1 on that, but now what would the odds be on that? This is where he's come out to the press conference. He's got the chain with the heel on it. It's absolutely unreal, But oh my god, yeah, Walter Walker. I don't know if it's just the heavyweights don't know how to defend a heel hook, or if Walter Walker's got this godly heel hook he's gonna be the one to finish Aspinall. But yeah, wow. Louis Sutherland, obviously not I don't know much about him to be fair, but I think it was his debut in the UFC. Sutherland come out. He's trying to land a big overhand right. Few kicks to try gauge Walker's gauge a bit of a reaction out of Walker. Walker's absorbing the shots well though. Closes the distance. Using his size to get inside Sutherland's striking range. Walker executed a quick takedown like he always does, driving Sutherland into the mat. Flipping pop-ups, man. Driving Sutherland into the mat, pinning him in against the cage from top position. Walker began working towards a leg entanglement. Need another coffee. A familiar pathway for him given his recent string of leg lock finishes. Once on the ground, Walker isolated Sunderland's leg and locked the heel hook. Classic. Sunderland obviously attempted to try to get out of it. He was trying to roll, but when Walker gets you in a heel hook, you ain't getting out of it. Well, we're not seeing anyone get out of one yet. But wow, only a minute into the first round, he secures the heel hook again. 4 heel hooks in a row. You'll never see anything like it again. A bit similar to the Pereira thing, but obviously in its own way. Like, when have you ever seen that before? Apart from back when they first started the UFC and people would just, my man, get someone in a crucified. You know what I mean? What am I doing? But right, Waldo Cortez versus Ant Deja. Now Cortez, he's another one that we've had on there a couple times. Oh, Salsa boy, I'm very excited. Waldo versus Walter Walker. What do you people think about that one? I think that could be a very interesting fight. I know Waldo's arguably a bit further up there in the rankings and stuff, and he's fighting Derek Lewis on this next card. Wow, that's going to be a really good fight as well. I've got to go with Waldo, but yeah, no, I've got to go with Waldo, but I wouldn't be upset if Derek won that. But wow, we've got Waldo again after this. Flipping out, look at that. That November the 1st, November 22nd. You talk, that's like Kamzat stuff. What's that? 2 weeks? What sort of maths is that? That's 3 weeks and 1 day, or literally 3 weeks. That is crazy. It'd be 3 weeks, wouldn't it? Because it's every Saturday. 3 weeks back to back finishes in the first round. Like, his only loss against Pavlovich. Nice win over Span, we talked about earlier. Nice win over Spivak. Wow, 5 fights this year, 4 wins. It's similar with thing with Marab. There's no shame in that Pavlovich lot. No shame. If he was fully fit and healthy, imagine what could have happened. But wow, yeah, but to get into this fight against Andy Degula, like I say, I thought this Degula was the next big thing after he knocked out Tabora in the first round. Wow, this was another nice card, to be fair. Quite a lot of finishes on this card, if I remember. Like one of them sneaky good fight night cards. Yeah, wow, this was an interesting fight. I talked about this on the channel before, I think. But Waldo, I don't know why I've done that. Waldo Cortez used to be a baseball player as well. Little interesting fact there. But yeah, Waldo, he's very athletic for a heavyweight. He has a really good right hand. He likes to stand, but he can grapple. He gets yeah, this is what my notes say. I'm going to go exactly off my notes because I actually done my notes live for this one. Watching this fight live, not rewatching it, doing it live. I said, like, gets TKO in the first round by Ant Delija. Was an eye poke, so should arguably be a no contest. Then Herb Dean says they're on a timer because of the eye poke. Then they carry on fighting. One of the weirdest things I've seen live. That can't be protocol. Haha. Waldo KOs him with an overhand right, which sleeps him with a few super necessary shots. Tim Kennedy, Yo Romero, D'Elia must have had a big adrenaline dump, and Waldo comes out on smoke on vengeance after the eye poke. So yeah, now I remember. They've literally, Waldo's been eye poked, sort of like looked like he was badly hurt by D'Elia in the first. There's no timer or anything. They've not gone right. 5 minutes, stop. It looks like the fight's over. Like, I can't remember if anyone's actually come into the cage, but there's no timer or anything like that. I'm sure. Who ref this? Dean, I want to say. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. Will it say here? A lot of people thought Delia was going to win. No, Mark Smith. Mark Smith. My apologies. But yeah, I've never seen anything like it. He stopped the fight and then they carried on fighting again. So you never know. It could have been, like I say, Tim Kennedy, Yo Romero sort of adrenaline dump for Delia. Couldn't get back into it, but Waldo done what he had to do, and he got a lovely knockout finish over Delia. Yeah, brilliant performance from Waldo. Right, I'm gonna cut this down. 38. 4 more fights to go, peeps. 4 more fights to go. I'm going to break this down, make sure this one is all recorded safe and sound. And then I'm going to do the last video, stitch it all together. Well, you will be seeing it in a oneer anyway. Get the laptop on charge as well, as you can see. And yeah, wow, literally nearly done. Like I say, this has been weeks worth of notes. All this trial and error, doing the takes, a lot more like longer takes than I'm used to. Normally I'll just talk over a picture for like a minute or two, stop, do it again, So yeah, thank you for bearing with me, and like I say, we're going to get better and better every upload and bring you unreal UFC and MMA related content. But right, I'm gonna stop recording before my laptop. Oh, I'm getting shook that this is gonna die. What the fuck? Right, panic over. I'm gonna get this video saved, and you'll be seeing me for one last video to address these last 4 fights, starting with the 38th card of the year in a split second for you guys, and however long for me. So that fire's starting to get a bit toasty, so I had to wipe the hoodie off. But people, 38 out of 42 fights. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We ended the year with a bang as well, which is always a bonus. But this card was a special one, similar to Song Cejudo. Very good card. Let me get it up. But Chris Leroy Duncan, he sort of reminds me. He fights a bit like Khalil Roundtree, like fighting people like they owe him money. But oh yeah, look at this card. You got that bomb theme KO over Randy Brown. That was really nice. The not half fought match. No, he got KO'd by Steve Erceg. I'm pretty sure. In that fucking viral KO that got Erceg the title shot. But, Euros Medic. KO bomb theme. Chris Dunk. No, that's fucking. I'm getting muddled up here. I'll be honest, like just looking at it like this, it's not standing out too crazy, but obviously that this fight was good. The Padilla fight was good. Solid main card, to be fair. Shout out to the main card. Them two fights at the start were pretty decent as well, to be fair. But harking out and Marco Tudiel. How ironic is it that he opened up our video with the first card of the year and our first fight of the card against Ihor Poitieri, if my memory serves me correct. So that's MMA for you, isn't it? How the tables turn. But yeah, this was a really solid performance from Duncan. I thought earned a fucking performance of the night, so I'm not the only one who thought it. But yeah, both fighters come out aggressive, immediately engaging on the feet, landing combos and kicks. Duncan's pressing the pace, looking to impose his reach with his like unorthodox striking. Like I say, sort of similar to Khalil Roundtree, where it's like organized chaos in a sense. Not quite Yeri chaos, but organized chaos. But yeah, pretty interesting first exchanges. To the O match with some early blows. Finding a bit of success with the low kicks, but nothing special. Letting Duncan know that he's dangerous. So, first big strike, Duncan starts to begin to land more effectively. He lands a spinning back elbow, which splits to the O open, and blood starts pouring all down to the O's face. He responds with a late takedown and a scramble, but it's nothing compared to the big cut that Duncan just done to him. So yeah, even ended the round in control. Duncan reversed and ended the round in control, taking Tudio's back briefly before the horn. But close round, but that spinning back elbow, that cut to the open. Damage wins fights, you know this, people. You got to give that round to Duncan. Just off of that alone. But round two, this is where he got the finish. So it's quite back and forth to start with. Tudio come out actively with kicks and combos, trying to poke through Duncan's forward pressure. Duncan's absorbing a lot of the damage. He got a cut in his near eye, not as bad as Tudio's, but he stayed focused, stayed in the fight. It was a lovely sequence that led up to the knockout with Duncan landing a spinning back fist, flush to Tudio, highlight finish strike that wobbled Tudio's legs. Yeah, literally, you can see his legs turn chicken. And seeing the opportunity, Duncan advance, mixed the jab with a straight right hand, dropped Tulio face onto the canvas, sealing the finish. Referee stepping in at 3 minutes 20 seconds of round two. Tulio unable to defend himself. Duncan getting a nice KO. Really good performance from Duncan. I'm hoping he's going to be on the UFC London card. Fingers crossed, can get some tickets for that. But last year was in all the waiting queue and all that stuff, sold out straight away, and I got on that Ticketmaster, or like one of them places to get some tickets. They're trying to ask for $7 for nosebleed seats. Like, I love the UFC, I need to go see it, but at that point, it might be cheaper to fly to the States and go see it for that price, or near enough the same price, you know what I mean? A bit more of an experience, but well, nah, not as good as seeing your country, man, win the title, do you know what I mean, in your homeland. That would be awesome. But yeah, sort it out, UFC. But right, we've got two really good fights now. Obviously, 4 fights left total, but this next fight, and I'm a big Leon Edwards fan, but sorry, my mates just texted me, distracted me. But yeah, I'm a big Leon Edwards fan, but this you got to appreciate a finish like this. Oh, okay, now that's why I have my phone on Do Not Disturb while I'm doing this. Right, let's reset and get these last fights finished off properly. I thought my phone was on Do Not Disturb. Bear with peeps. For the 39th card of the year, I think we got sport rotten. It was a great card. I was going to go through Price's record. We will do that. But UFC 322. Obviously getting that nasty knockout over Leon Edwards. As much as it hurt to watch, I think it was a passing of the torch moment. I think Edwards' times, do you know what I mean? Not saying he's done, but I can't see him fighting for the belt or winning that belt again. Even though he had that unreal run, the head kick against Usman, watching that live, that's got to be up there with Strickland's JDM for title fights. That just, I always forget that one, to be fair. Not like not because of Leon or anything, but yeah, literally it goes past you. The trilogy, the third fight, one of the best in my opinion. But obviously look at the fight Usman had with Khamzat. I know styles make fights, but Usman's come off the back of that trilogy and had the fight with Buckley and looked really good. He's had the fight with Khamzat and looked good. So I didn't think Edwards was completely done. I thought it was going to be a lot tougher fight than what it was. I know the loss against Sean Brady didn't look good, and then Sean Brady had that loss against Morales. Would have been like a couple of weeks before this on the Prater's Jeff Neal card. Funnily enough, no, it wasn't. It was on this card. What am I talking about? Yeah, this main card was easily top 3 main cards of the year. Could be the main card of the year, even with that JDM performance against Makhachev. Like, because as much as a fan of JDM that I am, that Makhachev performance was unreal. People were trying to compare it to the Khamzat performance. I thought it was nothing like it. I thought Makhachev was dominant. He was doing stuff with his position. Yeah, I thought it was a really good one from Makhachev. I thought size is going to play a big factor in it. I thought JDM was going to be way too big for Makhachev. My whole argument was, well, look what JDM done to Belal, and he's a weight class above. But come on, Belal and Makhachev. So, but similar thinking with the Shevchenko Zhang fight. I thought that no, the opposite actually. For some reason, I didn't think size matters in this one, and I went with Zhang, and it clearly did matter because Shevchenko absolutely bullied her. But that was Don't let him bully your son. But that was a really good fight. The Morales versus Brady fight, another fight that I got wrong. Um, I think I got Pratters and Benoit right, but yeah, I didn't get too many right on this card. I bet a lot of people had their parlays written by that Worldmaker fight. We talked about that earlier. Meerschaert, if you'd put money on Meerschaert, then yeah, he deserved to be in the loony bin after his recent performances. Um, not the not a terrible start to the card, but yeah, wow. Soon as Bo Nickel come in, and I'll be honest, I thought Bo Nickel was washed when the Ridder put he hit him with that body shot. He folded. I thought it was the first bit of what's the word? First bit of oh my god. First bit of almost like the first person to actually fight Bo Nickel back. The rest were just all beatdowns. The first to put up, I'm not even gonna try to think about word all year or night, but yeah, really nice knockout. I think that was a head kick knockout if I remember correctly. Picture perfect. I remember he posted a video on Instagram. You have to have a look. I'm not sure if it's still on there, but it's him. I think in like his Contender Series fight or his debut. He goes to throw a head kick, just slips, falls straight on his ass, and then it transitions to him landing that head kick on Vieira. And yeah, fair play to Bo Nickel. I'm excited to see what he can do. It's similar to Prates. We'll get back to it. A loss doesn't define you. That's what the best thing about MMA. A loss is just a lesson if you treat it that way. Like this, and obviously you can use that mantra in life. So yeah, it's a good little way to look at stuff. But yeah, Benoit versus Manil, 16 seconds. That was crazy. You could argue maybe a little bit of an early stoppage, but I mean, I don't think a lot of people were complaining about that one. Yeah, Prates and Morales versus Sean Brady. Morales absolutely destroyed it. I mean, Morales versus Prates wouldn't be an awful fight, but I mean, like I said, I could see Morales fighting for the belt, but there's a bit of a queue. But yeah, Prates, big shout out to Prates. If we just rewind real quick, let me just make sure I'm recording. Awesome. Yeah, Prates obviously he's joined the UFC. Another person I'm very thankful I've been able to watch his whole run. Nice win over Trevin Giles, second round finish. Like knee to Charles Radke. Charles Radke is the one that dropped the F bomb when he was getting interviewed by DC. The same night Cape dropped it as well, wasn't it? So didn't mean to do that, but yeah, DC had his hands full that night. But the Li Jiang fight, what the hell? Sorry, my thing's bugging out a bit. Let me take it off charge, see if that helps for a bit. But yeah, finish over Li Jingliang, tough opponent. Neil Magny, obviously sort of like a gatekeeper for the welterweight division. He's always, you know what I mean? You can never put, it's never an easy fight against Magny. And then to go from Magny to fight Gary, and like I say, it was very frustrating watching it, especially the fifth round when he knocked Gary and he had him on the floor hurt, and I think if he just threw a couple follow-up shots, that they would have stopped it, or Gary would have been too wobbled to defend himself. And there was a minute and a bit left when he had him there. So, and I ain't gonna lie, I had money on Prates to finish as well. So I was going to skip. That's another reason why I fucking yeah. But yeah, what's it called? So yeah, and then the win, Jeff Neal off the back of that. Yeah, that spinning back elbow, like I say, that could have easily beat Murphy, Murphy and Pico for the top spot on that card. But like I say, they're almost just as good as each other. I could almost put them up on the spot together, but like I say, I know Pryor's had another little nice knockout coming, so let Murphy get another couple for the English boys. But yeah, this fight against Leon Edwards, wow, it was let me get to my notes, people. The fight opened up largely on the feet, both of them feeding up the distance. Edwards obviously being southpaw, trying to work the low kicks, countering early, trying to establish a bit of rhythm. Prater's responded with heavy low kicks. He fired back with quite a few bursts, staying aggressive, but not being overly cautious in a sense. And oh my god, I just remembered this is what you got the iconic picture from this fight where Edwards is on Prater's back and Prater's just looks at the camera and just gives the thumbs up. Oh, bad boy picture. But yeah, wrestling moment for Edwards. Edwards got the first bit of real success, if you want to call it that, by timing a double leg, getting Prater's against the cage. He's working him. He takes it back. He nearly locks in the rear naked, but like I say, this is when Prater's is almost showboating in a sense, like giving the thumbs up, basically going, "Nah, I'm all good." But I mean, not too much happened in that round at the same time, so you got to give that round to Leon. He was being more aggressive with he got the takedown, obviously threatening the submission, even though it didn't look like he was gonna come anywhere close. Prater's weren't worried. It was still more than what Prater's done in the round, so you got to give that round to Leon. Round two, wow. Yeah, the second round open up. They start trading on the feet again. Both fighters. Prater starts landing sharper combinations. He's landing kicks. He's like slowly getting more and like landing more and more on Edwards. Still looking competitive, but Prater's is really getting aggressive now, putting on the pressure. About a minute into the rounds, Prater's literally lands a perfectly timed left hand, connects flush on Edwards' chin, and sends Edwards to the shadow round. I don't think Edwards had been knocked out before this. I don't think he'd been finished before this. I'm not sure if I got it on my notes. We'll get to it if I do, but yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he hadn't been knocked out before. I'm certain of it. But yeah, before he could recover, he follows up with a ground strike, and the ref steps in, finishing the fight of a minute and 28 seconds into the second round. Wow, I don't know how this has only got MMA knockout 17. There was some nice knockouts this year, but yeah, this was a really nice card. I don't know why I ain't got on my notes about this being a good card. Come on. I mean, when you got notes on 42 different fights and little notes on the cards themselves, I'm sure you're gonna lose a little bit of lose track of a little bit of stuff. But yeah, what a fight and what a performance for Prater's, really coming back strong after that Gary win. And like I say, I don't think there was any shame in that Gary win. If they rematch, I could almost if they rematch, I could see it going to Prater's. He's looking unstoppable at the minute. He's looking really, really good. I'd like to see him maybe match him up with Morales. I don't know when Shavkat's going to be back. You got JDM now as well. Prater's JDM. Might be an interesting fight. I'm saying all of this. He ain't got any fights lined up, has he? No, they wouldn't. He wouldn't. But yeah, well, I mean, Edwards started off strong. He looked pretty decent, but yeah, Prater's just it was passing of the torch, and yeah, wow, what a moment. But we'll try and fire past this one. This is the 40th card, 40th fight, and the third time you're gonna see someone, so you might be getting a bit sick of him. So we won't talk about him for too long. Probably about as sick as you are seeing me by now. But I've been told people like the face cam and that, so yeah, it's called. Yeah, I'm getting told people like the face cam and that, but That's all right. I need to go gym with my boy once I've done this, but I'm determined to get all these videos mashed out before I go to the gym. Almost there, you know what I mean? 40th fight. This one and two more, three more. Come on. But yeah, for the 40th card of the year and the 40th fight of the video, once again, we've got Waldo Salsa Boy Costa versus Shamil Gaziev. Shamil the Blob Gaziev, I better say. This was on the Sarukian hooker card. This was actually a pretty decent card as well. So big shout out to Shamrock. I really like Shamrock. I think he's going to be a problem coming up. Put up a really good performance against Nuro Aliev, obviously an undefeated killer. A really hard debut fight, and no shame at all in the performance that he put up in that. I think he might be, I think I alluded to it earlier. Such a long video, I might be repeating myself. Sorry if I am, but I think he might. It'd be nice to see him at UFC London. I've seen a few bits here and there saying that like cards that people have designed. Maybe him versus Jubilee, that would be interesting. Give him a chance to really, like, do you know what I mean? Paddy Pimblett, like Luigi sort of Vendrami sort of moment. Yeah, he's gonna be a problem, I think. And like I say, his whole story, if you've not seen it, where he like got falsely accused of a crime and he went Thailand. I think, God, let me I'm not sure if it was Thailand or Brazil, but I know that he learnt jiu-jitsu first, and then I want to say he started fighting Muay Thai after he'd learnt his jiu-jitsu, because that was where like the you could actually earn like money and stuff like that. Don't quote me on it. That's all off the dome. But his story is really really unreal. Like up there with like your Chris Duncans and your Terence McKinney, like just your proper good person. That's somehow it just shows people, do you know what I mean? If you put in the work and you can do anything. So nah, fair play to him, proper boy. But nah, this was a really good card actually. Looking back on it, especially for a fight night, you got Alexandra Topuria versus Al McCann. That was a good scrap. I think quite a lot of underdogs won on this card, if my memory serves me correct. Almabayev, Alex Perez, that was a good fight. Dalby, obviously we spoke about him earlier, always puts up a good fight. I think he might have been an underdog there as well. Luke Riley, his debut as well, trains at the same team as Shem and Paddy. Can't even remember off the top of my head, I'll be so real, but Ulanbekov, Tagir Ulanbekov, he was, I think he trains with like Khabib and stuff. He had a good fight. Obviously Waldo, Orabai, the caveman, I didn't think he was going to sleep Hermanson like that. I wasn't expecting that. And Ozdemir versus Menefield. Menefield's saying one of them 50-50 fighters, I think. You can never count him out. But it's just one of them ones. Like sorry, Ed, I've got Do Not Disturb on it, but the call's still coming through. I'm not even. I'm trying to be rude, innit? But I'm just trying to trying to get this done. I'm sorry, bro, innit? Bear with me. But obviously the Ian Gary Bilal Muhammad fight, absolutely unreal. Sarukian versus Dan Hooker. Obviously Sarukian showing you why he's up there. Obviously, people have their opinions if he should have got the title fight or not. It's one of them ones I can understand why the UFC don't want to risk putting him at the title fight again. It's, do you know what I mean? After everything that happened last time, but he's up there. I can't, maybe one more fight, and I say you have to give him the title fight. But Waldo, obviously just easy performance against Shamil. Obviously Shamil's the first fighter I've watched where he just tapped out due to tapped out in like the fourth round, just wouldn't get off the stool because he was out of breath. Never seen anything like it. Not because he was hurt, just because he was out of breath. It was crazy. I'll double check who that was against, but fight starts with Gaziev coming out aggressive, lunging forward, trying to establish a bit of rhythm, but Cortez is showing no hesitation. despite taking it on very short notice. I think 2 to 3 days I've got on my notes. I'll double check that in a minute, but yeah, wow, that's crazy if that's true. Well, yeah, sorry, he took the fight on 2 to 3 days notice, but I think he also fought like a week or two before this, but I'll double check that. The performance we just talked about. But yeah, wow, it was shit. It was the first big exchange. I'm gonna talk about this fight and then I'm gonna tell him I've just got 2 fights left. The first big exchange, Gaziev's pressing forward, throwing multi-punch attacks. Cortez lands a crisp jab, disrupts the rhythm, follows up with a short right hand, visibly hurts Gaziev. Gaziev's forced to retreat briefly after being tagged. Early success from Cortez. He shows his... Oh, one sec, people. I'm gonna just let my mate know that I'm still doing the video and then I'll get... Right, we're going to end the video a little bit different to how we've done the rest of it, people, because this fight is very special to me and it's got a big story, all starting with the first fight that they had. But obviously the 41st card, the second to last card of the year, my favourite card of the year, my favourite fight of the year, it's got to be Merab versus Peter Yan. And I've grown to love Merab. My mum's favourite fighter. He's awesome. The run that he went on, unreal. But before Merab, and before growing to like Merab, there was Yan. Now, I didn't get to witness this era of Yan. The win over Uriah Faber, the nasty head kick knockout of Faber's telling him to give it, and then Yan gives him it. The win over Aldo. Obviously, this is all stuff I've gone and watched back, but I didn't have the pleasure of seeing in the moment. But the knee against Aldo, that obviously sort of sent, not downward spiral, because the second fight, I'll be honest, Aldo won fair and square, but you never know what could have. It's what if. It's the burnt toast theory, isn't it? I don't know if you people know about the burnt toast theory, but that's a good little way to a good little mantra, a good little saying, a good little thing to keep in your mind whenever anything goes wrong, because that could have gone wrong to stop you from having something even worse happen. So always just, do you know what I mean? Whatever happens, it's happened for a reason, people. As cliche as that sounds. And don't stress about stuff that you can't control, because you end up going nuts. But yeah, that obviously was dominating Aljo in that fight. Aljo baited him, rage baited him into doing that illegal knee. That win against Sandhagen, really good performance from Yan. Obviously that Sterling, I thought Sterling won that fight. This O'Malley fight was a good fight. It was a close fight, but I thought Yan won that. I think a lot of people will agree with me on that one as well. A lot of people will think that Yan won that one. And then obviously going off the fact that I thought he won that fight against O'Malley, I thought there's no way that Merab's beating Yan. Literally, it's... I think I told the story on my channel before, but I'm at my mate's, my good mate. I won't say his name in it because he's a bit private and that, innit? But yeah, my very good mate, and he didn't know anything about UFC, anything. And quick check, still recording. Perfect. Fire in the background. Hair check, shit. No hat, no. Do I put the... Yeah, a bit more professional. If you watched earlier, you already know that it's currently only for the looks factor. Well, you can tell from the volume of it, like the audio quality, sorry. But yeah, we're starting at the bottom, people. We're gonna work our way up. Better than the phone well, the audio probably, and to be fair, better keep my mouth shut. But yeah, I was up my boys. I was like, oh, this guy's gonna smoke and blah blah blah. He was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, we'll put 20 quid on it. He's like, yeah, calm. I've literally had to sit there and watch pure domination. Well, not domination like how Yan dominated in the rematch, but he didn't have an answer. Well, I say he didn't have an answer for it, but I mean, if you actually look, he didn't do that bad, and he come into it injured. Similar thing to the Pereira Ankara fight. Like people come, some people do just try. Oh, I was injured, blah blah blah. But this is a perfect example of, well, this is a complete different fight to the one that these people have had before, and it's not been that much of a time difference. So there must be something at play that's, do you know what I mean, caused that much of a difference. But sorry people, I'm expecting my boy to give me a call, so I'm just trying to stay on top of it. But yeah, so not only have I had to watch Jan get absolutely mauled for 5 rounds. By the fifth round, I literally went, come, because we were gonna go get a pizza or not. So I was like, come, let's go. Let me go get your pizza for that 20 quid. Oh my god, it was painful. But yeah. And how long ago was that? 2020, 2023, right at the start. So nearly 3 years ago. And the run that Jan's gone on after that, the win against Yadong, he was really on fire when they fought each other. Figueiredo was on a really good win streak. He'd think he'd come up to bantamweight and got like put a 3 or 4 fight win streak together. Marcus McGee was meant to be the next big thing. I think a lot of people were turning him down because he wasn't very highly ranked but very dangerous. I like Marcus McGee as well. I've seen a video of him doing skateboarding and that. Fair play to your boy. And yeah, obviously the piece of resistance, Merab versus Jan, this rematch. Wow, it was like Christmas come early, to be completely honest with you. And as much as I wanted it to happen, you know what I mean? I honestly didn't think it would happen. I'd be lying if I said I thought it would happen. I thought it was going to be a whitewash from Merab again, especially Merab's fucking 3 fights that he's had before this against O'Malley, Umar, and not Cejudo, was it? Nah, O'Malley, then it was Cejudo. But I mean, look at that. Jan Aldo, Morales. Yeah, I mean, this third fight, the trilogy. Sorry, people. This third fight, the trilogy, is gonna be. Sorry, people. Just trying not to. Not too many fucking phones in the way now. Right, sorry, people. I was doing so well. I'm getting off track. Yeah, wow. This was, yeah, Christmas come early, but yeah. To give you the quick little breakdown, let's get back on to. There we go. 10th best fight of the year. I can see that. Maybe even higher. Big underdog coming into it as well. Look at that. 90% of people thought Merab was going to come away with this one in the bag. But Yan come out firing crisp boxing combinations, sharp jab, immediately dictating the range and timing, keeping Merab off balance. Merab's going for his takedowns early like he always does, but Jan's doing a really good job stuffing them, keeping the bout on the feet. Jan's landing the cleaner shots. There's a bit of damage on Merab already from the jabs, the rights, the body kicks that Jan's been throwing. Merab's sort of having to adjust his approach from the usual wrestle heavy style because he's not getting anywhere with it. Everything's getting stuffed. Well, saying that he didn't have to change it. He kept doing it, and he said that after the fight. I think that's why that might have slipped in my head. He was like, "Oh, I wanted to keep it interesting, keep it on the feet, have a fun fight for the fans." Like, I love Merab, but I think he attempted 50 odd takedowns. It's like, come on, let's be real for a second. Like, just go. I couldn't take him down. I couldn't do my wrestling. Don't act like you were like, nah. I wanted to keep it on the feet. Like, There's no shame in it either. You've done 4 title fights in a year. Title, um, most champions only fight like 2 times a year, so there's no shame in it. Do you know what I mean? Just yeah, no shame in it at all. Don't try to take away from Jan's win. But yeah, Jan's striking remained precise, effective. It was vintage Jan, backing Merab up, tagging him with combos, kept him comfortably, kept closing the distance comfortably. Sorry, Merab's continued to press, attempting the takedowns, but Jan's takedown defense was so strong. I'll get up these stats in a minute. Sorry, people. It's just because it's the last take, and I'm just making sure it's definitely running. But yeah, how many? It must say here. Art information. Where does it say how many takedowns and shit they're throwing? Probably something I should have got up on my notes. To be fair, doesn't say anything about it, does it? No, but yeah, it was at least I want to say like 50 odd times he tried taking him down. But then Jan scored a takedown about midway through the second round. I didn't expect that, and another dominant, well not dominant, but another clear round I thought to Jan. 2018 Jan, my opinion. Round 3, Jan lands a nasty, but well, I think it's like a liver kick. And Marab is like, fucking hell, he's audibly like, you can hear him in it, like he has to let out a scream, like he grimaces, like I'm surprised he stays standing. Fair play to him, to be fair, but yeah, big reaction from Marab. Jan's continuing to, he's just getting better and better as the fight goes on. The striking's getting better. His takedown defense. Marab keeps trying to take him down. It's just not working. Jan's also now mixing up the grappling as well, having Marab guessing, looking for more grappling success, couple takedowns with a ground and pound sequence that bolstered his control time. Another round for Jan. Marab needs a finish now, in my opinion, going into the championship rounds. Round 4, guillotine attempt. Marab tries to mix his offense with a guillotine choke, showing his desperation, for looking for somehow a way to win the fight. Jan stays in control, wrestles back into position, escapes the submission, attempts and continues to land sharp punches and kicks. Obviously, the volume and strike accuracy from Jan's just, Marab doesn't know what to do. Like, he doesn't know what's coming at him. Is it a takedown? Is it a feint? Is it a... He doesn't know what to do, but Jan's growing more and more confident. He's looking like he's getting more and more in a flow state, and I've got Jan winning every round so far. 4 rounds to Jan. Going into the last round, I had it 34. 9, 18, 27, 36. Oh, one sec there. With me, people. That's that phone call. Oh my god. Bear with me. Yo, don't say anything, bro. Don't say anything yet. Yes, people. Sorry about, well, there wouldn't be any today for you guys, but had to go sort a couple bits out and that. Got all the man them going, when's the video out? Oh, fucking gonna, this is literally the last little bit, and I can get it all put together and get it uploaded. But big shout out to Cal, Jack, Pelka. Who else has messaged me right now about it? Taylor, Gozzy, big shout out Mormy, and then obviously all the boys as well, following the page, supporting the thing. That don't go unnoticed either. My little brother, big up Ollie, Mormy, my boy McQuaid, big up McQuaid. Shout out Pierre, following the thing. My boy Tiddler, big up Tiddler, big love. Cal, Bill, Slugs, Harry, Jamie, Joy, Jordan, Dylan, Zav, Louis, Ryan, and obviously my RJ. It don't go unnoticed, all you man and mum. It don't go unnoticed. Really appreciate it. Hopefully, fucking, we can proper level up this shit once I get the hang of the computer and that, innit? bro, I think streaming might be the sort of, maybe we'll look into it, and I'm gonna do my prediction videos, all that. Why am I still on this anyway? You don't want to hear none of that. We've got one final fight, the 42nd card of the year, and the 42nd fight that we're gonna talk about. Favorite fight, sorry. It is Manuel Cape versus Brandon Royval. Let's check on recording. Perfecto. Right. Get back to here. Right, yeah, this was wasn't a bad card to end the year, to be fair. What? Oh, I was bugging, and I thought Mocky ain't in the UFC anymore. He fucking he capes for. Hand clicked on it, yeah. Yeah, really good win from Cape. I like Cape. I think he's a solid fighter. Obviously, he was beefing Izzy at the press conference. You're seeing the size difference there, so it's not about the size of the dog. It's about the size of the fight in the dog. Sometimes, you know what I mean. Not when it comes to JDM versus Makachev. But now I started out both fighters standing and trading at range. Royval's trying to use his jabs and low kicks early to establish a bit of rhythm, keep K at bay, try circling, using the distance while looking for some openings. Cape's mixing his stance up, switching stance between orthodox and southpaw. A lot of hand fighting, working to close the gap and catch Royval while he's circling. About a minute and a half into the fight, Cape begins pressing forward. Starts to find multiple clean leg kicks. Royval starts aggressively moving towards Cap. He has moments of success, but the low kicks, the counters, but yeah, Cape's forward pressure's increasing, and he's landing the heavier shots when he's connecting. There's only 2.5 minutes. The sequence starts happening with Cape catches Royval with a big right hand that stuns him, drops him against the cage, follows up instantly with a big flurry of punches, and the ref steps in and stops the fight at 3 and 18 minutes into round one. Really nice win for Cape to end off the year. Nice way to end off the year as well with a KO. You can't go wrong with that. And yeah, it's going to be interesting in what's it called in old flyweight now. Joshua Van's won the belt. Obviously, they'll do the Pantoja rematch. They've got to do the Pantoja rematch. But so what I'm going to do as well, I'll tell you who I think is going to be champion at the end of the year. But they'll have to do that rematch, and that'll be interesting to see them actually fight. To be honest, everyone was hating on Joshua Van. How are you celebrating that? He's a 23, I think, year old lad that just won the UFC title against someone who I thought was unstoppable. Yes, a bit fluky, but come on, like you're not gonna celebrate that yourself. Like behave and like some people. But no, I thought there was no shame in that. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be so gassed, and hopefully you can just show in the rematch that it was worth celebrating the first time because it wasn't no fluke. But it's got to have a special mention as well. That 42 fights, 42 cards. It's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. I wonder if do you reckon we're gonna have more cards next year? I'll have to wait and see with this Paramount deal. But earlier I've been banging on about I thought it was Malcolm Wellmaker, another up and coming prospect, which is arguably better than Malcolm Wellmaker in my opinion. Elijah Smith. Elijah Smith's the person I was talking about that done that rampage slam KO. Like I say, depending on what day, I could have it as my knockout of the year. It was absolutely unreal. Sorry if you hear that. That's me dog cleaning myself. I'll flip the camera in a sec as well. A big shout out to my mum. She's had me dogging that while I've been filming the video. Just, do you know what I mean? Try to get as best sound quality in that as possible. But yeah, it's it's time for her to be back with her dad. But yeah, this was a unreal. KO, big slam from Smith. Yeah, that to show me. Oh my god, I think he was on the floor for ages after, if I remember correctly. I'm not gonna risk showing any videos or anything in this one. I've not shown any videos yet, so it's just a bit easier to it was easy dealing with the copyright claim last video, but it's one of them ones, and it just not no need for it when you're doing this. To be fair, no need for it. But it's long enough as it is without adding any videos. But yeah, and that was on Delidze versus Hernandez. Wow, Steve Ursa versus Osborne, touchy feely. Not a bad little card, to be fair. Not a bad little card. Well, I thought we would spoil for fights last year. I thought we had some really, really good fights. Some great performances, some great knockouts. You have to let me know. Do you think I've made some good choices with my favourite fights? Do you reckon there's better fights per card? I know obviously there's a lot of cards where you could have had two or three as the best fight on the card, but suppose it sort of comes down to personal preference when you've got that level of fights and they're that good. A bit of biasy maybe towards your favourite fighter. But I'm going to quickly give you my who I think is going to be champion at the end of the year, because I think it just makes sense doing it at the back end of this video. I don't need a whole video for itself, but I can look back next year and go, right, obviously reviewing this year and go, right, let's see how clued on AJ was with seeing who was going to be champion still. So first, heavyweight division. Not a lot of movement in the heavyweight division, but I'm going to go out on a limb. I think Aspinall's still going to be champion by the end of the year, but I think 2027 you could see Waldo Cortez as champion. You heard it here first. Cortez is, if Aspinall ends up fighting next year, does the White House card or whatever, decides that's that, he's happy with what he's got, then, or maybe if he grows, I have to wait and see where Waldo goes, but I think he's got good potential at heavyweight. Yeah, I really like old Waldo at heavyweight. And next up we've got light heavyweight. Oh, I do not want to contact the dealer. Light heavyweight, obviously Pereira champ, Magomed, Reyes. You know what? I think Pereira's going to hold on to the belt. I'm going to go with Pereira to keep the belt going into at the end of 2026, December, going into the new year. I think he'll do enough. If he rematches Magomed like halfway through the year, or what am I going on about? If he fights Allberg halfway through the year and fights Winarov, perhaps Magomed. I think that's a good fight to make. Yeah, I think he I can't see Magomed Yuri. I can't see anyone beating Pereira on his day, to be fair. But we've got middleweight, right? This is a bit of a wild card because I can't see Chimaev fighting much this year, but I can see Fluffy beating Strickland this February. I think Imanov's gonna be next for Chimaev, and then maybe Fluffy fights the winner of Imanov Chimaev towards the end of the year. One of them October, Dubai, Qatar cards, something like that. I think that'd be a good fight. But I'm going to go with Fluffy Hernandez to be the middleweight champion going into at the end of the year. Right, welterweight. It's an interesting one. I'm going to have to stop going against him, and I need to see Makhachev versus Morales. That's what I want to see. I can't go against Makhachev. I think Makhachev's going to stay champion of welterweight. Unless he vacates, I can't see I can't see anyone beating him, but I would want to see him fight Morales. I think that would be a really good fight. Really, really good fight. Right, we've got lightweight. Obviously, Paddy and Justin are going to be fighting for that belt. I reckon Oliveira. No, don't be daft. I'm thinking with my heart. I think Holloway's going to be lightweight champion end of the year. I don't want him to, but I think he's going to beat Oliveira. And then he's right up there. Do they make the Holloway Arman fight? I can't see them giving Arman that title fight anytime soon. If he fights for the title, if they give him the fight, yeah, I think Arman's going to hold that belt. I think it'd be Holloway as well, but I don't think he's going to get the opportunity. I'm going to go with Holloway to be champion at the end of the year. And then we've got featherweight Volkanovski. Give Lerone a fight. Give him Evloev. Give him someone up there that he can get a win against and fight the winner of Volk Lopez, which I think, I think I can see a passing with the guard. I think Lopez, I don't think Murphy's going to get the chance. I can see Murphy as champion, but I don't think he's going to get the chance next year. If he ends up getting to fight for the belt, yeah, obvious. That sounds daft. But if Lopez beats Volk and they give Murphy the Lopez fight, I've got Murphy all day, but I just don't think they're going to give him that fight similar with Arman. So I'm going to have to go with Lopez to be featherweight champion at the end of the year. We've got Peter Yan. I'm high on that Yan train. We're going Yan to be bantamweight champ at the end of the year. He's going to beat Merab. This is what Peter Yan's year is going to look like next year. You heard it here first. Merab rematch. O'Malley rematch. Get the dub for that. And then I don't think he has to do more than 2 fights. I'd be happy if he rematched Merab and rematched O'Malley. They're 2 good solid wins. Obviously he's got 1-1 with Merab, but O'Malley's obviously got that win over him. I don't agree with it, but on paper that's how it is. And then finally we've got the birds as well. We've got Joshua Van, flyweight. You know what? They need to bring Mokiev back. I'm a big Mokiev fan. I reckon they'd be doing bits. Put up a really good fight against all these man. Obviously beat Cape. Who else has he fought? Probably I think he's beat a couple of these man, but I'm gonna go with Cape. I'd love to see Cape get that flyweight gold. Yeah. Obviously, depending when Pantoja's back, if they do that fight first, obviously he's owed that rematch after the streak that he went on. But yeah, I'll have to wait and see what they do. But I'm gonna have to go with Cape to get flyweight championship at the end of the year. And then we've got women's bantamweight Kayla Harrison, who's just had to pull out of a fight with Amanda Nunes, if my memory serves me correct. I'll be honest, I can't see Nunes beating her anyway. I think Kayla's been a different beast since she's come in the UFC. I think she's going to hold on to that belt. And you know what? Manon Forrest's good, but I can't see Shevchenko's debut. Well, as in like every dog has its day. I can't see that being Shevchenko's year next year. Oh, obviously Natalie Silva, she's a beast. She put up a good fight against Shevchenko, funnily enough. I didn't mean to click on that though. Oh, and now we're back at light heavyweight. Technical difficulties, bear with. So, quick recap then. I've got Aspinall to hold on to the belt. I've got quite a lot of people to hold on to the belt. I'm just glad. Aspinall to hold on to the belt. Waldo may be coming for that strap in 2027. Pereira to hold on to the belt. You tired, baby? Big snore. But Fluffy, if he gets to fight Chimaev, I think he's gonna get that belt. So that's for someone who's not champion at the minute. Actually, I reckon Makachev's gonna hold on to that belt, but I wouldn't put it past Morales. I need to see that fight. I'm proper intrigued by that now. I think that'd be a proper scrap. Lightweight, yeah. If Arman gets a chance, like all day Arman. I love Arman as well. Great fighter, great personality, but Holloway could be sneaky and get it. I'm gonna have to go with Holloway. Lopez, just because I don't think Murphy's gonna get the shot. Yan, Kayla, Shevchenko, and Zhang's gonna get that strap back now that she's gone back down to strawweight all day, every day. But people, what's that? 17 minutes. Wow, it's been a long video, but I've been planning to do this since obviously the last card of the year. I thought, what can I do in this 6 weeks while waiting to do my prediction video for the new year? And I thought, just find every card, go through, and pick my favorite fight. And like I say, guys, please tell me, like, what is your favorite fights from each of these cards? What's your favorite card of the year? Your favorite knockout, favorite sub, favorite finish? Leave any comments. So like, I'll get back to anyone who leaves any comments. Anything. I'm not saying like I know stuff like that, but do you know what I mean? You want to have a chat about MMA? I'm here and I'm your guy. But I appreciate anyone who's stuck around this long, anyone who's watched any of the video at all, whether it's a 30-second clip or the 3.5 hours or whatever it is. And yeah, all I need to do. She's sleeping. I don't know if I'll grab her. You know what? I'll save the dog for the other day. I'm quite surprised she's been really quiet actually as well this whole 20 minutes bit. So no, she's a star, my little Nalaba. So big love to absolutely everybody. I hope 2026 can top 2025, and we just have another year as good as I can't even fucking speak. Been doing this for too long. If we have as good as a year as we did in 2025, then you can't complain about that. And we've got some good fights lined up. I'm gonna look at now I've got the YouTube set up. I can do reaction videos maybe to the UFC. I'd need to look at it, or fair use and stuff like that. It gets a bit ropey, as I learned last time. But it's one of them ones. Let me know what you people want to see. I always do my prediction videos. I'm gonna make sure I get a prediction video for every card that happens this year. And you heard it here first. You can hold me to it. I'm staying consistent with it. Obviously, I'm not that's the one thing I'm at least doing. It's a bonus if I get other stuff done, but each card's got to at least get a prediction, or at the very, very least, a recap or breakdown about it. But got to be some sort of video about each card. I'm not sure if we'll have as many cards as this year, but we'll do it, and then hopefully this time next year we can go back and do exactly this. But the vision is, I'll be going through my channel, obviously looking through my own videos to find out, right, what was the best card, what was the best fight on that card, right, go on my video, see my reaction, see the breakdown, I've got a vision for it, so hopefully fucking, you know what I mean, some people like this, and that's what I mean. If this can make someone's day on it, or give someone to chat to about a UFC or anything like that, then do you know what I mean? I've done my bit, and I literally do. Obviously, I'm here talking to myself for 4 hours, so obviously I'll do it. But if it's, do you know what I mean? Something goes like that, I ain't gonna complain. But obviously, it's one of them ones, isn't it? You just gotta do it and see where it goes. But I really do love the UFC. once I get past, you know what I mean, all the fucking little technical bits, I bet it'll be second nature and start getting. So I know it's probably not the best quality video a bit times where I'm quiet, loading up lists, loading up that. But you gotta bear with me, and it's one of them ones. If I'm trying to make a video absolutely perfect right now, like I try, but if I'm sat watching it back, going, "Oh no, like, it would never get done. It would never get done." So obviously, I hope it's watchable. I hope you've got something out of this. I hope there's something. Maybe there's a fight that you missed, and you're like, "That was a mad knockout." Like, hopefully, do you know what I mean? Hopefully, this brings some sort of joy, pleasure. Hopefully, this is. I think my motto is gonna be: hopefully, you get what you want out of this video, whatever that may be. So I want to wish everyone has a very, very good 2026. Big love, big peace, big blessings to everyone. I'm going to get this all stitched together and you'll see it on my YouTube channel, however long it takes to get ready, because it's a long ass video. But nah, big love to everyone, and hopefully we have a good year of fights in 2026. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you, people.